Hello friends, my name is RagePanda1 and we are back with our first summoning stream after the little hiatus. Can you say hiatus? I can. Let me get these chats turned right away to live chats, because otherwise people will be upset with me because I will not have seen their friendly messages. And we need that. We need that in our lives. Miranda says, it's 5:01 Rage, where's the stream? If you knew the stuff I had to deal with. I was trying to make a thumbnail. Actually, I have my editing software up right now. Let me close that down. I gotta close it down for you. Stream is live. Stream is live, Miranda. There you go. I have told you. And didn't I tell you? Yes, I did. Yes, I did tell you. Alright, where's my Bloodline? Where's my Bloodline program? We're starting. It's Miranda. Hi, Miranda. How are you? Traker's up in here. Look, guys, you can spend real money and get a dragon. Do you want a dragon? Could be fun. Advertisement, advertisement. Speaking of advertisements, when I opened this game today, I got an advertisement. WTF? What is that about? Is that a standard thing? Or did BlueStacks do that to me and not Goat Games? I would like to know. The dragon is $100? Yeah, I saw that. I saw that, but I'm focusing on positivity. That's what I'm doing. That is the thing that I'm gonna do. Alright, guild, let's check in. I guess I've already checked in. Let's get free loots. We up in here getting these loots. I'm not gonna mess around too long. I'm gonna let people populate in a little bit. And then I'm excited to spend some stones. This is the new server thing, by the way. Based on my top-up amount, I will gain a total rebate of 25,000 diamonds. And if I do 7 days worth of bull hockey, I can get all of that. Yes, I said bull hockey. Get used to it, homie. Sorry, my hair's all wet. I had to do a moist time. Bobby Zinger up in the chat. The actual fetus. He brought back the actual fetus. Hello, Spy Fox and Richardson Scott, if I did not say hello before. I'm saying it now. I'll be saying it now. Alright, I should start my expeditions because it's important, guys. You gotta do your expeditions. And I didn't start them yet today. Mostly that's because today is just starting for me. I'm not really gonna be concerned with who I'm putting in there right now because I don't even know what my account is doing. I am not fully back into the swing of things. Here you go. This is a perfect team. Right? Perfect. Nothing could be finer. Let's go to the City of Firm. And let's not put another super low level person in there. Let's just not do that. I'm sad I don't have another Trevane. Like an actual Trevane. High enough to do something for me. Alright. People have had their time. Are you ready to summon? I feel like they've had their time, right? 2 minutes? Is 2 minutes long enough? I don't know. Maybe I'm just too excited. I am a little excited. That's the first thing I wanted to do when I got back was start summoning. Come here, you old Raggedy Andy. Get in my pocket, you prisoner. Do I want to summon on your account? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see where the stream takes us. I don't plan these things out. If you guys think I plan these things out, then you are out of your mind. I have no idea what's going to happen. We're just all along for the ride. That's how we do it. Traker's not wasting any time. He's got those super chats a-rolling. They're a-rolling. If I'm coming back, I'll have to teach you how to get your account back. It's pretty simple. If you set up your GOAT ID before. And if you didn't do that, it's also very simple because you're not going to get it back.
If we are coming back, then you have to teach me how to get my account back.
I will try. I will try to do the thing. But what you really have to do is you got to click on this Goat ID thing here. And then it'll ask you to sign in. It's showing me all this other stuff. God, that's bright. Showing me all that other stuff because I'm already signed in. But you just click up here where it says Goat ID. And then you can put in your email address and it will send a code to that email address. And then you'll get your stuff back. You're right on back into it, the swing of things. Brent P's ready for the party. Party time. Excellent. I want to talk about these guys a little bit before I really start summoning. I heard a lot of people excited about the female. And once again, I feel like she's fine. But I feel like the male is super good. I feel like he's super good, y'all. And I don't think people appreciate what he actually does. I don't think they do. So, normal attacks have a piercing effect, dealing damage to all enemies along the path. So, instead of doing 100% damage, you're doing 80% damage to everybody that's lined up. And if you pull everybody in and you shoot your thing into them, you should be able to hit 2 or 3 people. That is a lot of damage. More importantly, after every normal attack, you're leaving a lightning spear. What I'm not sure of is where it's going to leave that lightning spear and the area of effect that that lightning spear is going to have when we actually use it. So that remains to be seen. That's going to probably decide whether he's worth a damn or not, honestly. You don't know about these two, Miranda? Well, we're gonna figure it out together. We're gonna figure it out. Brent spent all the resources on pets. Yeah, I got a lot to learn about the pets, but I just want to summon. I don't care. I don't care. You know me, I don't really need to be the top of the top to be having fun. So if I just have some shitty little My Little Pony as a pet, I'm going to be alright. I do think that male Dravapala would be good with this guy. So also, our normal attacks that are piercing, that makes them an AoE attack, okay, because it's hitting multiple people. A line is an area. We're hitting an area with our attack. Does that make sense? Are we all on the same page? It stuns people! A 70% chance to stun. That would be good if it was a 20% chance to stun. But it says 70%. That means if you hit 2 people, the odds are very greatly in your favor that one of those people is going to be stunned for a second. And you're going to be attacking more than every second because you're going to be building hella attack speed on this guy, as well as buffs, preferably from F-Ho and Male White Eyes. Good attack speed stuff going on. This is super good. Super good. His actual base strength is slightly lower than some of the other people that we've seen, especially recently, but that doesn't matter because he's hitting everybody all the time and stunning him. Alright. Spy Fox says leaning male. Did he watch the Clan Spotlight? Well, I haven't seen the Clan Spotlight. Actually, I tried to message Bobby. Kids, please stop. Please stop. Please. I don't think they realize how loud that is on the stream. They're just... My daughter, she just likes to walk around on all fours like a little animal. You do hear them. It's the boombadilla doombadilla booms that you're hearing. It's their feet and hands on the floor up above me. That's what all that booming and bopping is. I just wish they would stop. You really don't? Alright, well that's good. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're watching on a phone and you don't have the bass speakers that will transmit that frequency. Anyway, cluster shocks. No, I was telling a story about Bobby. I went to message him just to say, like, out of professional courtesy, it's his job to know what people are doing with the social media of the game. I'm like, just so you know, dipping my toes in, making a couple videos. Figured it's your job to know that. I ought to let you know. And then I wasn't able to message him. I wasn't blocked or anything. He's just not accepting messages unless you're part of the Bloodline server, which I'm not. And I'm not really super interested in going right back into that, because when I left, the reason I left that server is because they started adding crazy strict guidelines for people who were in the content creator program. And you know what? The extra diamonds a week and everything was pretty nice. It really made me able to do a lot of things that I wouldn't have otherwise been able to do. But I don't want to be beholden to pleasing some company while I'm making my form of entertainment that I'm creating. I would rather just suffer and not get the bonus. There, you know, I don't want him telling me what I can say. No, he didn't block me. He didn't block me. I think that Bobby and I are on good terms. So, anyway, cluster shocks. It strikes 4 times, dealing damage to one random enemy equal to 250% of the caster's strength, and leaving a spear at their location. Keep in mind, leaving spears is a really good thing, and we're about to find out why. We're doing it with all of our basic attacks. We're also doing it 4 times with cluster shocks. Now, they're not super clear here if you're going to do damage equal to a total of 250% of your strength, or if you're going to do damage equal to a total of 1,000% of your strength. I would have to assume that it would be up to a total of 1,000% of your strength. If we look at stuff like the Selphos male, he's doing 480% and he attacks 2 people with it. It's like fairly in the range of what we would expect. 250% total would be way too low, and I don't think that they would make it do that little damage. Even if it did, though, it would probably be fine, because that's, I mean, the spears are going to be a big deal, as you're about to find out. When the same target takes multiple attacks, each subsequent attack deals 24% more damage and inflicts the stun effect for 1 second. That is super good. That means since it does it 4 times, we have to hit him once, and then it starts applying. If there's only 1 target left, you're doing a 3-second stun on them. Then you're going to chuck a basic attack at him, and you got a 70% chance for a whole other second of a stun. That's a lot of crowd control. And it gets better and stronger the fewer targets you're facing. I'm not sure it makes him super great at fighting bosses. I feel like he's okay at fighting bosses, maybe a little above average. But he's not doing like the, what is it, the Warbringer male, where he chunks like 14% of their constitution on a cooldown, or the female Travaine that's just constantly chipping away a percentage. I think those are going to be fine. Did I say it's fine, I'll just suffer? Did I say that? I say that like every day. Every single day. The thing you got to know, my spine is destroyed. I got bone spurs and spinal arthritis and missing almost an inch of my spongy disc material in my spine. So it's really hard for me to do some things. I'm never supposed to pick 50 pounds up ever again. It sucks. And when that happens, and the way it happened to me, I was very unable to move for like 10 years. You start to feel like a burden. And then when people offer to help you, you just say, no, it's fine, I'll just suffer. That's where that comes from. I don't want to be a burden, you know? I just don't want to be a burden. That's all. So I will just accept my suffering with a smile on my face and continue forward. So it's not as bleak as it sounds, right? Or is that worse? I'm not sure if that's worse. It might be. It might be worse. So this active skill, I feel, is a very good active skill. And the fact that it leaves the 4 lightning bolts, do they call them bolts? The 4 lightning strikes on the ground is going to be hugely important, because we need those. Here's why we need those. The Tribunal of Thunder detonates all lightning spears in the battlefield, dealing damage equal to 300% of the caster's strength to nearby enemies, and leaving behind an electrical field that lasts 8 seconds. Keep in mind, our active skill is spreading lightning strikes at the feet of various enemies. It's probably going to be spreading them out to 4 different people more often than not. I would expect If the average is less than 3, I would be shocked. That was not supposed to be a pun. I would be surprised. I would say at least 3 different spears in 3 different locations. And getting them in different locations is important. That's what we want, because we want to spread this effect around so that we can make the most of our ultimate. Traker's getting all moistened up. I'm right there with you, buddy. I just got out of the shower myself. Just did it. I'm all clean. So we're going to do 300% of the caster's strength. That's at least 1200% of our total strength, because we just put 4 of these spears on the ground with our active skill, plus however many basic attacks we've done. Which is why we're going to be using Agile and the Stone Thrower one. And by the way, you guys made it sound like those probably didn't stack. I'm here to tell you, those definitely stack. I'm not sure if you were saying that you can't stack the Stone Thrower trait with itself. That's correct. But it certainly stacks with Agile. So if you haven't been doing that on people who need attack speed, you've been making a mistake. I haven't tested it, but every single other buff that does that in the entire game, they stack together. So I don't see why that one would not stack together. What's that going to do? It's going to give you all a whole butt ton of lightning spears all over the battlefield. So who knows what kind of damage you could be doing with this. And it's going to leave behind your electrical field for 8 seconds. Whenever a target in an electrical field takes damage, 24% of the damage is passed to other enemies trapped in the electrical fields. This is why Miranda is so super correct that the male Dravapala is going to be a big deal. I don't know what the area is on this AoE that's going to happen, but I know that you're already piercing, and you're going to be hitting them with an AoE from this ultimate now, based on where the lightning spears are. So imagine in your brains, if you will, you get everybody clustered up, everybody's hugging, it's like a whole fun party that they're having. They put their keys in the bowl, they're having a great time, they're sitting there getting absolutely pierced by lightning bolts. There's lightning everywhere, it's all stuck in the ground. All stuck in the ground. You explode it with your ultimate, now everybody's in the electrified zone. Now as you're piercing, you're hitting 3 or 4 of these enemies, and every single hit that you do, as it goes by, so you're throwing 1 shot, you got a 70% chance to stun, you're hitting 4 people with it, and all 4 people that you're hitting with it are spreading a portion of that damage to the people around them. And everybody's around them, because you pulled them in all together with your male Dravapala. That's going to be a lot of damage. Good lord, that's going to be a lot. That is going to be fun. And it's probably going to look cool. And that's why we're going to summon for your boy. That's why I'm excited about Zeus. That is the one. Now, for the lady. She's got a little bit higher base strength, which is good. That's good stuff. That is good stuff. We've got static induction. Normal attacks will bounce to at most 2 nearby enemy targets and deal additional damage equal to 15% of the target's current constitution. Now, this one is for current constitution. This makes her still pretty good against bosses. The problem is, when it's based on current constitution, it's great at the beginning, and then it starts to be pretty terrible. But since this is based on normal attacks, I think that's fair, and I think it is going to be super strong. For boss fights, specifically. I can test the cluster burst on your account. I might be able to do that, but I also might be doing that on my own account. I'm going to be summoning everything I got into these. Just because I want the new people, you know? Alright, but it will do no more than 1200% of the caster's max strength. I mean, that's a lot. You're talking about normal attacks doing 1200% of the caster's strength. That's like an ultimate. So, pretty wild. And 70% of normal attack damage and additional damage received by the main target will be dealt to the additional targets. They don't make this very clear. I'm assuming what this means is that you're going to be shooting your normal attack at a person. You're going to do 15% of that person's current constitution. Then it is going to spread to 2 more people. It will not do a percentage of their constitution. It will do 70% of the total damage that was done to the original target. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. That's how I feel like this should be working. It tracks in my brain that that's what's going on. It doesn't seem very clear from what they typed out, but if we think about it for a minute, I think that's what they mean. Electrocution. Cast 2 consecutive lightning strikes on random enemy targets. Man, I wish it left lightning spears so that the other guy could use them. Wouldn't that be cool? Each dealing damage to 480% of the caster's strength and inflicting stun for 2.5 seconds. The same enemy target can be hit by both lightning strikes. So I feel like that's okay, but it's nothing too special. The stun is nice, but it's not as good as the stunning that you're going to end up getting from the other guy. Because it can hit the same target, though, having an active skill that can do almost 1,000% of your strength to a boss, that's like another ultimate again. Because usually you'll do like maybe 480%. That's fine, but it's only going to hit him once. And it's usually a big AoE. It's usually not possible for that damage to apply more than once, which is what potentially makes this really strong against single targets. And I think you're going to see her being in the meta for boss killing. She's very good for that. Jester Jack says, you forgot Mho draws people in? He does, but I think it's only on his ultimate, right? And only after you have a ton of stacks? I don't remember. I only read it yesterday on stream. I haven't been able to internalize all of the stuff maybe to the fullest. And that's why I think that he's not a good option, because you can't rely on that pull. The pull can happen, and it's probably a good pull. I haven't personally been able to use it yet, but from the way that I read it, it sounded like it was very situational and you can't count on it as being part of your main strategy. So we can look into that and verify if that is correct or if I'm just talking out my ass. Who knows? I might be doing that too. Man, I got the coughs. Maybe I'm going to have a little cough drop. Miranda says, please remember to like the stream, people. It certainly does help, and if you wanted to do that, I would appreciate it. Thanks, Miranda. Alright, finally here we've got the Prison of Lightning, which calls forth a pool of lightning, and that lasts for 6 seconds above the current enemy target. Once per half of a second, the lightning pool summons lightning upon a random enemy within range, dealing damage equal to 250% of the caster's strength and inflicting stun for 0.5 seconds. This is not very good for fighting a team of people. It's super good for fighting a boss, though. Everything she does is really good for fighting a boss. She is not good just fighting a random enemy team. I just don't think she is. She's okay. If you love her, if you want to marry her, you can go court her and make babies and take her into battle and have a good time. But I don't think she's the best option. For fighting bosses, though, definitely one of the best options. Maybe even the best option that the game has to offer right now. I have not been able to test the... Are they Warbringers? I want to call them War Blasters, but I know that's not right. I just want to call them that for fun. The Warbringers. Because this guy's got his 12% of the max constitution. But this only happens... what was it? Every 10 seconds, and then it starts to go down and down and down until you switch targets. So he gets to be close to what the Lightning Lady can do. But even when he's at max stacks, he's got a 2-second delay, right? A minimum of 4 seconds. So yeah, this only goes down to a minimum of 4 seconds compared to the other girl who can just keep building attack speed and just keep benefiting. Now, the upside is for him, he's always doing it based on max constitution. So these things aren't, there's not as big of a disparity as it might seem like when you're considering that she gets to do it every basic attack and you can increase that with attack speed and then he has to wait. Well, his is always going to be from max constitution. So if you're fighting the sort of thing where you're just doing as much damage as possible and it never dies and it never really loses health, he's probably going to stay better, or she's going to probably stay better no matter what. If you're doing one where you are killing the boss, it's going to depend how fast you're killing the boss. If it spends a lot of time, in the lower health regions, then she's going to have a diminishing return on that part of her passive. The rest of her stuff is all still good, and it's not going to diminish, but specifically her passive with the damage based on Constitution. Hers is also limited, so while she's doing a lot of damage, it's got a cap to it, and the other guy's does not have a cap to it. So that's why his is so much more infrequent, because it's just inherently stronger in so many ways. But hers you get to just keep using and using and using. I think that hers will likely be stronger, but it requires some testing. Now we're going to look at Emho with his ultimate. With 18 soul marks, the circle constantly pulls all enemies close, and with 36, it siphons strength. So the fact that it's 18 soul marks, I mean, if you were gonna try to count on that, and it would be fine to try to count on that, what you would want to do is make sure that he's ulting after the rest of your team, because you get soul marks by people losing health, and if you allow the rest of your team to do ultimates first, then they're going to make the enemy team lose more health, so when he does his, you're likely to be at your 18 soul marks. Now, I haven't gotten to use the guy. It might just be super easy, and it might happen every single time he ults without needing to consider it at all. But if it doesn't happen every time, then that's a way that you can adjust it so that it will start to. I think that's enough rambling. You feel me? Spy Fox has both hoes at 14 stars. Spy Fox, do you find that sometimes when the M-ho ults for the first time, does he occasionally not get the pull because he doesn't have enough stacks? That would be interesting to know. What are our chances here? Look at that. New Mythic Champion. Such a low chance. That's why we're going to get 1 million of them. How many of these do they require? Is it still 300? Damn! Luckily, I want the mail, and I have enough stones to just get the mail. Plus, I have all of these. I mean, I might just do the summons with that. We'll see how close we are on companion parts. Without any further dudes, let's get these summons out of the way. Should I say out of the way? I'm actually like really excited for them. I'm less excited for that. Although I got a couple of new faces here that I've never seen before. And I am okay with that. But that was not the most exciting multi that I've ever seen in my life. Here we go. This one's got the power. No, this one's got one legendary character in it. Right? Right?
A ship at sail.
Look at that.
And
it's about 50-50. Sometimes he pulls first, other times it's the second. Yeah, if it's about 50-50, then I would say you need to slow down his ultimate because you really want that pulling effect. It seems like it would be a really strong effect. Was her name Ollie?
A ship at sail is a nation, and
There's no way.
am her queen.
Is that what I just read? Almost. I mean, I would pronounce that Ollie. Ole. Hey, we got one of our companion parts, and we got a copy of your boy. Loving it. This is what we call living the good life right here. Especially when we get a mythic in this summon. We did not get a mythic in this summon. Oh, we got a purple, but that's rough. It's rough. Oh, we didn't get a purple, but we got companion parts. Now I'm in love again. This is all it takes. This is all I care about. Some good fodder in here, too. Give me the fodder. Luke, I am your father. But he never actually says Luke. He says, no, I am your father. People just changed it that. Shut up. Shut up. I already know that. We are doing good on companion parts right now. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. Oh, here's the good one. Here's the mythic. Here's a brand new mythic, what we never saw before. Oh, look at this tentacle bastard. Oh, yeah. New guys. So, I wanted to talk about some of these. The enfeebling trait. Each attack reduces the target strength by 5% for 5 seconds. Stacks up to 4 layers. There are certain people that could be pretty decent on. And there are other newer traits that for the first 10 seconds of battle, they reduce the effectiveness of the enemy in some way. I think that they're trying to push sustain teams by doing all of the nerfing and stunning of enemies. Oh my god, look at this. It's your boy. And it's some companion parts. I'm not going to hold out too high of hopes, but would be nice. Oh, we got some more Guardian Stone materials.
Sea dwellers, arise. Our time has come.
Oh, look at her. I haven't gotten to read their abilities yet, but I have been informed that the water people, the water and sun people, the Selphos, and I think people said these ones are good. There's like a billion different water dudes, right? I think so. I think there's a billion different water dudes. M. Selphos pairs well with the water and sun for keeping the alt loop going. Yeah, I haven't even read the water and sun people, but I will take your word for it. I will do that. Come on, baby. Oh, this is the one. This is the one. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for sending me your energy and giving me these delicious and I fucking hate my life. Oh, they changed the symbols. You can tell what energetic is now. Yay, I thought that these looked shinier and nicer before. Alright, so that was
Dark delights
that was a thing.
And violent
Hey, but I'm pretty sure she's mythic too. Although I might have already had one of her. Might have already had one of her. Oh, she was only legendary anyway.
My name shall roar.
Hey!
Clouds overhead.
Thanks for joining the team, Jesus. It's great to see you. I sure do appreciate you. More companion parts. Do you just get them every time now, or am I lucky? Is this what we call being lucky? Tammy, what's up, girl? Welcome to the summoning stream, where we are doing a thing called summoning. I'm just being lucky? I like it. This could be another mythic. Could be. It's a potential. It was not.
Think of all the fun we'll have.
I'm gonna hit the old dusty trail. Are you joking me? What? Why? This is not the way. This is not the way. This is not the way. Look at this. This is the way. This bottom thing that's happening right here, that is the way. That one is the way. Oh, now this is what I'm talking about. This is what we've been waiting for. This is definitely a new mythic that I didn't have before. Possibly two of them. Actually, I don't think I had this guy in mythic before. And I'm not sad about it. I don't care that everybody says that he's not the best. He's fun. He's fun. Hey, look at the confident. Money, 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 money. Those are better. That's a huge improvement. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. I really wanted this guy. I wanted this guy. I don't know much about him, but I did see a video of him, and he looked really cool. He looks like he was massively overpowered. Plus, he just looks awesome in general. I have not read his skills yet, but we're going to get to that later. I'm pretty happy with that summon. Pretty happy with it. Wait, so there's more than one kind of bug now.
Luckily for you.
Are these the water and sun bugs? I don't know what these ones are called. For I do not know anything. Yeah, water and sun. We're going to read those a little bit later as well. I just noticed something. I noticed something that I didn't love. Come on. This guy and this guy are once again the exact same character model. That is a recolor. That is a thinly veiled attempt at a recolor. Come on, man. Come on, dog. That's lazy as a mother. They even got the same shoulder pad thing going on. Bruh. You stupid. That is lazy. I don't know. Maybe the money's not coming in quite as much as it used to be. That's possible. But that's lazy and I don't like it. They kind of hit it when they did the other one. What was it? The F-Ho and the F-Choir? They kind of hit it when they did that. But then it's like, you look at these two, and those are identical. And then they made a Bloodcraft legend that is, I don't know, identical. Just a little bit lazy. Spy Fox says it's a pass. I disagree. Not for me, dog. Not for me. And I will, in fact, I'll bring something up here. We're gonna taco about it. We're gonna figure it out. If I can find the pictures that I want to find. Alright, these are decent. These are decent. I might have to make a whole new scene in order to show you the thing I want to show you. Bear with me. Alright, I'll just switch back and forth because apparently you can't hear me in the new scene. The guy that I just had on screen, that was a visual update from 6 years ago on a game called Smite. It's basically exactly what Goat Games put in their game. So I'm going to bring it back up. I'll be a little quiet because you can't hear me apparently. But pay attention to how he's got the strap across his chest. He's got the one shoulder thing. Now, we all know that Poseidon has a trident, and the little tiara is a relatively common thing. I'm not going to nitpick that, but the entire rest of the outfit is just a straight up copy. All right, straight up copy. So that is a little bit lame. That is a little bit lame that they straight up copied it. But now I'm going to show you Zeus from the same game. That is Zeus from the same game. They look completely different. They still look like they could be related. They still look like they're from the same pantheon of gods. But using the exact same character model is super lazy. And completely 100% stealing the design from a different game is completely lazy. So, I am not impressed with that, I will say. I am not impressed with that. They looked pretty... The Smite guys look pretty similar to you? I feel like it was a whole different outfit, hairstyle, everything. Completely different. Different pose, even. I mean, for this guy, the only difference is they gave him a different tiara, different colored tattoos, and a different weapon. Otherwise, it's exactly the same. I'm just saying I'm not that impressed with it. It's lazy. It's lazy. Alright, back to summoning. I don't want to focus on the negativity, but that was a bit lazy. And it's a trend that I'm noticing. They're trying to recycle assets. And it just reminds me of the game Destiny, because Destiny is absolutely terrible for that. Hey, would you look at this? Would you look at what we got, guys? Would you look at that? It's almost like that's exactly what we wanted. Each normal attack has a 62% chance to increase damage by 44%. Really? For how long? Do they just mean for that basic attack? Because that's a really good passive, even if it's just for that basic attack. Richardson Scott says, there can be 3 brothers. In reality, each one will be different, tall, short, average, various builds. And the weird part is the youngest brother is somehow taller than the rest. Yeah, it is. Brothers do be looking different. And here's the thing. When it comes to 3D modeling, they could have used the same structure. Changing the structure that's already built takes 10 minutes. I'm not joking. It takes 10 minutes to have changed those shapes. But they wouldn't do it. They could have just slightly changed proportions and it would have been very much less noticeable. But they didn't bother doing that or changing poses or anything. Yeah, they could have done more. That's all I'm saying. I'm not hating too much. They just could have done more. Don't be big sad, Miranda. We just got the mythic version that I was probably not going to get unless we pulled her. That's big happy. And, like I said, she's probably one of the best boss killers in the game. So getting her is, that's a big happy. We're very happy. I was just in the middle of a rant, that's all. Don't let that kill the excitement. And look at this, we got a ×5. We got a ×5. I don't want to see any sads in the chat. That's a 5er. That's a 5er. We love it. I'm just going, you know, I'm just summoning. This is another mythic. Faux shizzle. Boom.
Demons, witches, monsters. Let them come.
Did this guy get reworked? I feel like that looked different. I feel like that looked different. Here's my new Brutal. That's the new Brutal. I gotta keep it in mind. Davy Crockett. Let's get another 5er. The werewolf is so ugly now? Do you mean the Lycanus or the Gultung?
Think of all the fun we'll have.
This guy can go fornicate with himself. You guys have already plagued me with this guy since I come back, and now it's all I'm looting. It's all I'm looting.
Theronen's light will never fade.
Ugh. They reworked a lot of heroes. Yeah, they were in the process of doing that when I bailed. We can go check out Ugly McGee. Yeah, give me that. Give me my treasures. And show me Ugly McGee. Here you are. Ugh. Well, there was an effort, but the failure was this face. The proportion is wrong. There's way too much detail down here, and then you got this huge space, this huge shape. This is what your eye is seeing. This very detailed area of this huge shape, and he's got a little itty bitty mouth. He looks like he's doing the... but also no chin. Yeah, that's not great. And that's the whole reason why. It's the proportion of this jaw to this giant shape that you're seeing. Otherwise, if you just put your thumb over his face, then you'll realize that actually it looks okay. He got them banging booty cheeks. Not that that's what we're here for, but they just put the whole cheeks on this guy. I guess fur counts. They put her booty cheeks on here too? No, her booty cheeks get covered up because they know you perverts. They know what you're up to. But the dude, he's bouncing off my booty cheeks. I love the way he rides. Yeah, that's what they went for him. Sorry, I shouldn't sing that song. Sorry. The sagging pecs. They were covered with fur. They weren't sagging as much, were they? Did I see the surprise on the Ignis? The costume? I did. Traker got out of the shower so that he could tell me to go F myself. That was very rude, Traker. How could you do that? Oh, I almost missed this. I got a mythic piece of garbage again. I got a mythic piece of garbage. I will never use this guy, ever. And maybe I'm selling him short. Maybe all of the crazy mechanics and damaging your team and all this stuff, maybe it's worth it. But I don't care. I didn't even look at his trait. Oh god, do I gotta look at this again? Bleh, bleh. Yeah, he seems real bad. Tardiness. Each attack reduces the target's attack speed by 11.4% for 5 seconds, stacking up to 3 layers. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so that could almost be good on the male Zeus guy. lightning dude, lightning bro. Thunderlord. It could almost be good on the Thunderlord guy because you're going to be attacking fast, you're going to be building a bunch of attack speed, and you're piercing. So you're going to be stunning a bunch of people, and when they're not stunned, they're going to be still suffering from slower attacks, which is slower energy gain. But it's just probably not going to be great against every team. If they're not focusing on doing normal attacks anyway, it's probably not worth it, which means it's probably not worth it. Sophia says, hello, hope you're doing good. I am doing good. I am. Jester Jack says it's a good trait. I think it's okay. I just think it's very situational, and it's hard to build for a situational build. But somebody that's gonna hit more than one person with their normal attacks, that's where it really becomes quite strong. We got another mythic up in here. Another new mythic up in here. And
Aim for their legs.
oh, nice. I was hoping that it was going to be the female. But any new character I get that is a mythic, I'm a happy guy. Alright, Rapid Shot. Increase all allied champions' attack speed by 25.81% at the start of the battle. This effect can't be removed or stacked. Now, a lot of people made it sound like in the last stream that this didn't stack with Agile, and I'm here to tell you it definitely does. So if you've been avoiding that because you are reading this and you think that it's saying that you can't stack further attack speed, you certainly can. You certainly can. Imagine how good male Thunderlord hybrids would look. Yeah, I think you could get some really cool stuff with that. You are correct. You are correct. That's another thing this is why they didn't change the proportions, by the way, is probably for the hybrids. To make all the stuff transfer over easy. It's fine. Oh, here we go. Is this a terrible mythic or just a couple of oranges?
Carolyn's light will never fade.
I can stop summoning. You're crazy. You're crazy. I gotta get companions. I probably won't get them. But I also want to get the Ascension materials so that I can make them big. I don't know. When's the next character releasing? I don't know when the next character is releasing. Let's collect all of our shenanigans here.
My name shall roar through the clouds.
Yes, your name shall certainly roar. You're a very big, strong man. We all get it.
My name shall roar through the clouds overhead.
There he is. It's the Mythic Boy.
The clouds
I got so many materials now for my Guardian Stone. Are you not excited for that? I certainly am. Yeah, going all the way that deep seems a little rough. Pretty much every 2 weeks. Not enough summons for companions? Probably not. It usually takes me 300 or more. But I also have a ton of stones. Thanks. I appreciate it. Here you go. Let's have a party. Great to see you all. Maybe I should have just went for my bag. I'm already halfway there, guys. I'm already halfway there. I could do it. I could easily do it. But everybody wants me to stop. I can stop. You like the new dragon decoration? Do you mean the dragon pet? I don't know what you mean by decoration. But there's also a lot I don't know right now. Would I spend if you sent me money? No, I don't think that I want to do that. Because I don't want you to send me money and then I spend the money and then what if I don't love it, you know? Because I like the game, I like the theory crafting, I like you guys, I like making videos, I like streaming. But there's just a lot of stuff that Goat does that it makes me not like them. And until I'm sure that I can not have an issue with that, I don't want to be a burden, remember? That's the whole thing. I don't want to be a burden. Day 1 gives the red dragon decoration. Is that the romantic garden or is it one of these? Hey, it's a jigsaw. Collected. Is it this thing? No. You'll have to forgive me. I just don't know I don't know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know. Is it the romantic garden? Is it this thing? Oh no, that's just telling me that that exists. They just have like so many different versions. Oh, here he is. We found him. Now what is he used for? What even is that? Decorations. This is brand new. This is the first time seeing of this. Oh, this is temporary. I see. If you really want it, then you gotta pay. You can look at it. You can have a dragon flying around for a little while, but if you want to keep him, you gotta pay. I'm guessing that's I get summoning stones in that page. And do the battles for the stones? Well, I'm going to do the battles, but I'm going to do a dramatic reading with the battles. Because you know how we do it. You know how we do. Also, the only way that people can donate to me and then I can immediately just spend the thing is if they do a PayPal donation. Otherwise, for YouTube, it takes like 4 to 8 weeks for me to receive the money. So the dragon is so distracting. It's a little distracting. I could get that. I just have so many people that I want to be able to play around with that I want to keep summoning. Maybe I should spend my diamonds summoning the little pets, because I need some more of those, but for now, I'm going to keep doing a couple of pulls. I don't know anything about the companions, the little sprites. I don't know anything about them right now, so I can't. I wouldn't want to give you bad advice. That would be a naughty. Did I join a guild? I did join a random guild. This is a good pull. This is a good one. Oh, child.
The wrath of the wilds.
I don't even care that it was one of him, because there's another one.
Parazen's light will
Okay.
never fade.
Now I care. You can't always get what you want. Oh, man. It was so good and so bad all at the same time. But that's okay, because we got another mythic right here, right now. with lots of power. Very strong.
We shall mar this world
Boom.
until we rise
Boom.
victorious.
How about 2 of them? You ever think about that? That's what we like to see. I'm alright with that.
Fight
I
well,
am alright with
die
that.
quickly. Either way, I'll be
This
satisfied.
guy couldn't have been the female. I still don't have a mythic female. I still don't. BLD return? Oh, he wasn't even mythic. We should try BLD return. I'll try that. I'm gonna try it out. Hey. Alright, back it up. Is that in here? And then I do this. And then I scroll down. And then I do redemption code. It's all coming back. All coming back to me now. Redeem. Boom. Thank you. Now I can do my multi with stones. And it's because of you. Was that Sophia? Thank you, Sophia. You get a full shout out of the name and everything. Which is probably worth nothing, but but I did it anyway. I did it. Alright, here's the huge one. All the companion parts.
Mar this world.
Hey, more parts for her?
Rise victorious.
She's so good I don't even need her to be that high in stars to be useful. Because of how good she is at fighting bosses.
My name shall roar.
Hey!
Clouds overhead.
Getting more fodder for the people that we want to build up. You gotta love it. Miranda's looking up the codes just in case. I appreciate that. Alright, we made it to 200. That was what I expected to be spending on this one. I got a decent amount of copies. I don't know if it's enough to actually do any testing. Have they improved the interface for searching through all of the bull hockey that you got going on over here? What is this? Normal. Is that showing me copies? What is the number over here? Because if that's showing me copies, that would be cool, but I don't think it's doing that. What if I click on this? It is showing me copies. Sort of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What did it say by him? 8. Well, that's cool. So I got 15 of this dude bro. That's not really enough to take him anywhere. Not really enough at all. Did I already scroll past the lady? I got 12 of the lady. Not enough to take her anywhere either. If I want to get anywhere with either of those characters and actually use them to play, then I would need to do much more. Much more. Tells me the number that I have, yeah. Well, I think that's a really good addition. I know that I'm being hard on them where I feel like they deserve to have somebody be hard on them. But I think that's a good thing. Do I really have 33 copies of her right now? I could make her a huge bitch. But I still don't have her mythic. Isn't that sad? Male Aeson, I have a bunch of him just because I was using him to make mythics. Just using them to make mythics. I wish that they were sorted by which ones I had the most of. I'm just curious. Bunch of Strixbanes. Just both Strixbanes I have a million of. Probably I was getting those so that I could make some moves on my Devala and make her bigger. That's part of the problem, is I don't really know where I was headed with the account and all of the stuff that I wanted to be working on. That interface is better. Have they changed the marriage interface at all? Have they made that better? You don't have enough copies to get her to 11 stars? It'll all come in time. It all comes in time, I tell ya. That's the beauty of these games. If you want it to be. Or you can just... some people just spend like $1,500 a month. And they got the top of the top of the top all the time. And they will always be the best. And that's just the way they like to play. And if that makes them happy, then that makes them happy. But I'm not interested in trying to compete with that. Not interested at all. I do know that I want to get these marksmen up a little bit. I don't know what I want to do with the rest of those points. I was working on a little bit of health for my tanky boys, but that's not necessarily the route that I still want to go, so we'll see. We'll see about that. I think before I do... I have 2 more goals that I want to accomplish. I want to continue reading the remainder of the champions, which I think there are 5 clans that I haven't talked about or read at all. You think that I have the codes that have been in there? If they're old codes, I certainly do. They did make marriage better. You can quickly marry. I'm not sure that quickly marrying is better. Unless you can just, like, decide what you want to go on to them. If that's what you mean, then that's cool. I'll just click anybody into here. Choose a spouse. Oh, that's already doing that. Got it. Yeah, this guy. So do I get to just pick? Or what do we do? I guess I can...
The guardians of the elder.
Oh, that's annoying. It's nice that you can, with the different icons, you can, I guess, at least see what the actual traits are on the person. That's helpful. I feel like they could have made this... I don't know. If I'm on a computer screen right now, and this is kind of small for me on a computer screen. Hello,
and
child.
all the guys on Smash Bros.
You unlocked all of them?
Yeah.
All by yourself?
Yeah.
High five. Great job. That's a lot of butt kicking you did.
Yeah.
Who was the last character you unlocked?
It was the one with green hair.
Someone with green hair?
Yeah.
You're not sure what their name was?
Yeah, it was a girl.
A girl with green hair?
Yeah.
Guys, which character is the girl with green hair? They're gonna tell us. Okay. Somebody knows her name, I'm sure. Smash Brothers character who is a female and has green hair. Well, I'm very proud of you.
Yeah.
How do you know it was the last one? Did it tell you you got them all?
No.
No? You just know all of the characters that are there?
Yeah, because I didn't get any more guys. I
Oh.
couldn't.
Well, I'll come up there when I'm done streaming and we'll make sure that you got everybody.
Okay.
We'll pull up a list, we'll look at them all, and then we'll have a big celebration, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I'm proud of you.
For the celebration, can we get some Lego robots?
Bruh. You crazy. Take your little butt upstairs. I love you. That kid. Paluenta. That would not have been my guess ever. That would not have been my guess ever. Alright, I want to do like a fake marriage here. We're going to do a... Like, I'm going to actually do the marriage, but I don't want it to be on people that I care what they're doing. Can I hover over this? Wouldn't it be nice if I could hover over that? This is energetic, I'm guessing. That's what the potion with the thing means. This is brutal. Agile, focused. That's gotta be the case. I won't take no for an answer. That's gotta be the way. Let's pretend... What does he have? He's got a brutal, a level 22 brutal on him. Let's try to get that on my new... Lightning Lady. Lightning Lady, where are you? I thought I could do this quickly. Maybe it's because I have 40,000 characters. I don't need the trait list up for that, I suppose. Not at the trait selection yet? You gotta confirm? Yeah, that's what I guessed. That was my assumption. Alright, so we click confirm. Oh, look at them go! They're all animated. So can I just say that I want this? No. Marriage still must work in the same or similar way then. This is tenacious. I don't want tenacious. This must be hexproof. Does that sound right? So I'm still gambling. And it's not really... I don't feel like that interface is faster. I also don't feel like it's that much better. It is a little better, but the reason that it's better is because the traits have the new icons. I would say that is the thing that still makes it better. Let's just do a YOLO. We'll get our brutal. No problem. This is easy.
Lightning shall mar this world.
Boom, brutal. Level 22. We knew it. We never didn't have it. We always had that in the bag. The icons came before the marriage update. The marriage update is just to make it look pretty. It doesn't do anything. In my opinion, that doesn't make it any faster or smoother. It just looks prettier. That's all that is. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's more clear what you're getting for vigor levels and stuff like that, but other than that, it's whatever. It's whatever. I don't think it was necessary. Now, we have a decision to make, and I want you guys to help make the decision. I have almost 30,000 diamonds. Should I summon sprite dudes? Or should I keep summoning other dudes so that I can potentially test some people and get some better documentation in case I want to make some videos for all of yous on how these new clans function and how you might want to build them and use them. That's why I want to spend my diamonds on that stuff. That's my thought process on that. So, get the champions. Traker wants to see the champions. Jester Jack, there ain't no way in hell that I'm doing a quick marriage. When I do marriage on my dudes, I am trying specifically to get specific stuff, and I want to make sure that I'm not using any characters that I'm saving for another purpose. It is very rare that I would want to just do a bulk marriage. I get it. There are some people who want to get 100 vigor and they're just trying to do 30,000 marriages, but that sounds terrible. Everybody wants the champions. Get the champions. Spend it all. So we can do 10 more. We can do 10 more, which might get us the companion. Oh my lord, those kids are so excited. He's pretty happy about the thing. Before I do this, I just want to remind everybody, this is not smart. I am about to waste diamonds right now, and you're going to watch me do it, and we're going to have a great time, but you should not be spending diamonds to do multi-summons. It's not smart. You should plan ahead, and you should be getting all of the stones as much as you can from things that are going to give you a deal on getting those, just so we're on the same page. This is not a good idea. Buy 6 summon crystals from Valley of Conquerors. I don't know what that means. I am not in one of those, so I don't think that's a possibility. Miranda says I can't bear to watch. That's alright. She'll be fine, everyone. Even though this is difficult for Miranda, we're doing it. Guild Conquests. I haven't gone into or looked at Guild Conquests for many moons. Conqueror's Exchange. Oh hey, I do have some tokens. I do have that. Well, thank you for that tip. That was a good tip. Appreciate you. What else they got up in here? They got all of these parts and all of these things. Maybe someday I'll try and care about that, but I just can't. Kimberly, please make the kids stop. Please. Please. I feel so bad. I want the kids to have fun, but they can have fun like on the upstairs. I'm in the basement right now. They're in the kitchen. They're stomping around the kitchen. They need to stomp around in the very upstairs. There's stones in the chests. The jigsaw puzzle. Is that what you mean? This one here. Yeah, they want me to do upgrading and stuff. I'll get to that. I don't think that's going to be entertaining on the stream. I don't think that there are mite packs in the store right now. Normally that's what you would want to do, but I don't think it's an option. But what I could be doing is getting some of these. I haven't done the math to see what's worth it here. Usually I like to do the math before I do stuff. But I just want to do these, you know? That's what we're gonna do. Mite packs were last week, so yeah, it's gonna be a while. I don't care. I don't need to be efficient right now because I don't know if I'm coming back to play full time or if I'm just coming back to say hi or see what's going on or what. I just want to be aware of what the game is and what it's like and whether or not I'm having fun. Right now I'm having fun. So, probably you'll be seeing some... Yeah, don't notify me that I'm making bad choices, please. I miss doing the thing. I do. I miss doing the thing, but also I am very attached to my creative project of the Baldur's Gate thing. So, that's going to be taking up a lot of my time. I'm also planning on refinishing my basement, which I can only do a little bit of work at a time because I'm riddled with arthritis in my spine. But it's a thing that needs to be done, and we're not paying contractors to do it, so... So what are you gonna do? Have to get the companion and max out the champ to level 15 to complete the jigsaw? Yeah, they've been doing that. They've been doing that for a while. And I've never maxed anybody out to 15 stars because it makes more sense when you're just playing to play that you find the characters you like and then you just want to level them up and you use all your resources and then it's... I don't want to say it's easy, it's still time consuming, but it's much easier than if you're trying to like make news about all of the new champions and try them and test them and like make videos and stuff. It really puts you farther behind. So even though I had a little stimulus of a bonus from the content creator program, it was still not quite enough to keep up with the times and also max out all my characters. I would have had to spend a lot to be able to do that, and I was not willing to spend it. Look at this, they're giving us the companions. More copies of this guy. Someday I'll take advantage of that good pull. Also, guys, use this. Use this. She's so good. Use her. I demand it. Especially use her in conjunction with the Lightning Bro. The Lightning Bro. Jordan Fetcher! Look at this guy! Hello, Jordan. And thank you for the generous donation. You crazy man. You crazy, crazy man. I appreciate you. Jordan is a good guy. He has supported me more than he ever probably should have. That he has. And he's been through a lot recently. So, I hope everything's going well for you. I hope you've been safe. And if you haven't been safe, I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to come work you over. Hey! I got the hoe! This is what I'm looking for right now, actually. I want the companion parts. I do want the companion parts. But what I really want is just copies so that I can just do the thing. Here's a mythic. This is the big time. We got a new mythic. Who you gonna be? Oh, whoa, hey.
Oh, yeah.
Hi.
The timing. The timing. Oh, Jordan. Did you have any idea that you were timing that so well? That I had to look to be like, I didn't think that was one of my sound alerts. No, it's my somebody donated $20 or more alert. Good Lord. Oh my God. Right after the booty cheeks. That was definitely... Oh, we got a 5-banger! That's what the oh yeah was for. The oh yeah was actually for the 5-banger. What a summon. That was, yeah, we need that clipped. Make that a YouTube short. They really like to try to push you to do YouTube shorts. I guess that's the way people prefer to consume their content these days. This guy, stop showing up. Stop it. Don't nobody like you, homie. Ooh, this could be a terrible mythic or just another purple and orange combo. The old purple and orange. Hey, we getting copies. I've seen you too many times, sir. I gotta skip. I gotta swipe left on that. Gotta do it. He's just got so many abs. Yeah, he's gotta share them with the world. Well, that's another thing that's nice about Twitch is that clipping things is super easy. Now, another benefit of YouTube though is that this VOD of the stream that we're doing now will be available for the rest of time. As long as YouTube has servers going, you'll be able to come and watch and have fun. Is that important, really? Do people go back and watch old streams? I don't think it's that important, but it's nice. On Twitch, they last for 2 weeks, and then they are gone. So, that part's a little unfortunate. I have considered taking the Twitch streams and then uploading them to YouTube, but who's gonna really... I don't know if people really care to watch a pre-recorded stream. I've done it a time or two in my life when I'm just, like, working on something and it's just white noise in the background, but other than that... Hey, we finally got one of these! Man, everything's about water. They are just... They are loving water. Is it the year of the water in China or something? Is there some event around that? Because they sure do be doing the thing with water. Alright, for the first 10 seconds of battle, reduce all enemies' attack speed by 12%. This doesn't stack. This is a low version of that, by the way. This is only a level 8 version. Having a max level version of that, and having a max level version of the attack speed reduction being put on the Thunderlord bro, Zeus. Is anybody gonna call him anything but Zeus? Really? I don't think they are. You could make it so the enemies are barely attacking at all, and you could take it even further with like a female Elzadeth or something. Quick marriages for vigor. Yeah, I assumed, Raji, that would be the way. That would be the way. It was annoying to do the marriages for vigor. But if I don't have control over those marriages to some degree, I guess I didn't give it a fair shot. I should look into it and see what's the what. But if I don't have a degree of control over that, where I know that I'm not going to get rid of things that I want to keep, then I'm not interested. And going through and locking every single person that I don't want to be used for that sounds so annoying. So maybe it's faster than I'm thinking it is, but maybe not. You gotta have the subscription to unlock quick marriage. Oh yeah. That was one of the things that I was unhappy with when I left. They did that subscription thing right as I was walking out the door, more or less. And basically the subscription is just, we have these things in our game that are super annoying, and we know that they're super annoying, and you don't like doing them. And the only way that you get to get away with not doing the thing that we put in the game that you do not like is that you gotta pay us. You pay us, and then you can like the game more. I think that's a little weak. I think it's a little weak. I also can understand people wanting to use it because it's annoying. But I don't know. I feel like if I was making a product, and maybe I'm just a weird guy, but if I was making a product, I would want to just make a good product that people want because it's good. I don't want people to have to like try to come up with strategies to not use the product You know? Like, it's almost like in battle passes, when you get a battle pass and they're like, oh, but if you pay twice as much, then you can skip 20 levels of the 100 levels of the battle pass. It's like, okay, do I like the game enough to play it? Or am I paying you to play the game for me just so I can get the nice shiny stuff for no reason? Like, what is the point? I don't get the point. Just make the game good enough that I want to play, make the battle pass achievable enough that I don't have to play the game like a job, and then we can all have fun, and more people would probably buy the battle pass at that point. Just gotta get rid of the greed a little bit. Did we get the companion? We'll find out here today. That looks like it's gonna be a no for me, dog. What do I always get? 49? I feel like 49 is how many I usually get. 50 of 60. Looks like we're busting our last couple of stones. We gotta bust the stones. Man, I really like these guys too. I just like the idea of having a mage style character, but it's a marksman. I think is really cool. I like Zeus in general. So I think that's really cool. Like, it is very iconic. It's very expected of the design, but it's very iconic. Her design is better. Because it's got the familiar tropes of a Zeus-like character, but she's much more original. So, I like that about her. Now we gotta do the summons. One by one. Depressing. I know. And we're skipping. We're not watching. Ain't no way we watching for singles. I don't even like doing singles, but sometimes you just get desperate, you know? Come on, companion parts, give me a 5-banger right here. Believe. Another copy of her ain't too bad. Bruh. Bruh. Please. Please. Don't do me this way. Oh, they done me. They done me this way. I don't know if I can justify doing the 300 a pop. That's just so expensive. That's way too expensive. I can get a couple more stones by doing the event. There'll be a champion roulette for it. Yeah, that's true. There will be a champion roulette for it. And those are nice, but they're better if you're spending. They are better if you're spending. How many more copies did I get of my dudes? I feel like if I get 25 of them, I can make them useful. 23. He's probably in the range of being useful. And she doesn't need quite as many copies because she's just so strong for bosses, and that's what I'm trying to use her for. Obviously, I scrolled past her somewhere. In my haste, I have 21 of her. That's okay. That's okay. Slightly disappointing, but it's at least it's to the point now where I can use them. I can fit them on a real team and perhaps go out there and do some combat and make a video about them. So, do the marriage. Do what marriage? You want me to marry those champions together to get the traits I want? Yeah, I usually don't do the marriage for the stream because I don't want it to take forever. But maybe I could give you a sneak peek of what I would build if I was going to try to build it. I can do that. So, for Zeus, who is the one that I actually care about.
My name shall roar through the clouds.
Or should I say Geronimus? For Geronimus over here, we want to maximize this passive as much as we possibly can because it is very strong. Now, I'm not overly familiar with every trait in the game. I have read most of them, but I'm not sure they're internalized to the point where I can make a super strong assumption of what I want to build. That's my disclaimer. I hope you understand. I would want to have Agile on this guy, and I would want to have the Stone Thrower trait on somebody else. I don't want it to have to be on him, because I want him to be doing as much damage as possible, and I might even consider not taking a defensive trait just to try it out, just to see if he's going to survive it, because he will be in the back, and it's possible that he will. If he's getting one shot instantly, then we're right back to you got to have energetic. Now, remember when last we left, energetic is just straight up better almost all the time. There was a strong debate at the time that I left that honorable might be better. That is generally, or was generally, not true, mathematically speaking. It became true if you had enough sustain. If you were healing back enough that you could continue to reduce the number of damage that you're taking by increasing your life pool by healing up, then over time, honorable would become better than energetic. But that's over the course of a whole battle, and that's assuming that you didn't just straight up die before you had a chance to heal. In general, energetic was better to take. It probably still is. So if I was picking a single defensive trait for him, I would pick energetic. I'm sure that people have still had their choices. Sophia, you like brutal and tenacious? I definitely would pick brutal. Will there be a website update? That's probably the last thing. Like, if I make a website update, then I'm back in, you know? I am in the game, we're doing the thing, and it'll become more of a main project for me at that point. Right now, even if I was playing the game as my main thing and making videos even 3 times a week, I would not have time to update the website. It takes a lot of time. A lot of time. If he's paired with the sun and water bug guy, then honorable will be perfect. I have no idea. I haven't gotten to read those yet. I will be reading them. Moral of the story is the faster that we attack, the more that we're going to get lightning spears on the ground, the stronger that we're going to have our ultimate be. Now, unless there's some limit where when the ultimate goes off, enemies can only take damage from 1 lightning spear at a time, as long as that's not a thing, then we need to have as many lightning spears as possible. If they can only take damage from 1 of them, then it's not really going to matter. So there's going to be some testing there. But the way that it reads right now, even with the fact that it just has a chance to stun on this piercing effect of a normal attack, seems to me like you want to be doing your normal attacks as often as possible, which means that you're going to want to have as high of an attack speed as possible. So, agile for sure. For absolute sure is what you want to do. I don't think that focused is the play here, because every single time, if there's no limit on how many lightning spears can damage somebody on the ult, every time you do a normal attack, you're increasing the damage of the ultimate. So delaying your ultimate just makes it stronger, so there's no rush to try to get to it, so focused isn't helping you all that much. The only way that focused would be helping you is if you're dying before you even get to do an ultimate, because you're taking enemy ultimates, and the way to solve that is not through putting focused on, it's through adding some sustain, some better positioning, and possibly a defensive trait rather than a speedy boy trait. So what I would want to do is have the agile, the brutal, and then I remember that when I left there was some talk that aggressive was possibly broken and scaling in a way that it shouldn't have been. But since you're building attack speed on this guy anyway, I think that aggressive could potentially be better than fierce. The reason that I used to say that that's not the case is because fierce gives you your bonus immediately right away, and aggressive stacks up over time. I'm pretty sure that fierce was even a bigger bonus. I don't remember exactly what the numbers were. But the fact that you had to build up the bonus over time meant that fierce was just better because you're getting a consistent bonus. If aggressive truly is broken, or was broken, or whatever, and that's gonna end up giving you more damage, maybe somebody's tested that by now, then I would go with aggressive instead of fierce. But I want this guy doing as much damage as possible, and I want him attacking as fast as possible, and I don't really care if he's ulting super fast. So if I can't get the stone thrower trait on anybody else, then I would put it on him. But in all likelihood, any random tanky person that you have that's just there for support should have that trait before he does. And you also, since if I'm going to build this guy, I'm going to build this guy. Which means that I'm going to have male White Eyes on the team at least. Which for me is pretty much my option for increasing my attack speed.
Death is not
With
the
his,
end for them, but it's a good start.
with his this thing. His ultimate that increases attack speed. Now, if I'm going to have him on the team with my male Thunderlord, then I want him to be ulting. I want the male White Eyes to be ulting before the male Thunderlord, but not by a lot. So I would tweak things to make sure that that's happening. Because you just really want to have your buffs lining up at the right time. And if I'm going to be blowing up my ultimate, I want to have the power from that. The attack speed is also great, but the attack speed is going to be helping me anyway. It doesn't matter if my ultimate is really going during that time. We just want to make sure the ultimate blows up in that 5-second window, and it's hard to time. And that's why people were wasting their time with female Lionstone before, because they wouldn't do any control of their energy. They just put female Lionstone in there. She ults super fast because she's taking damage from everybody. Nobody else is ulting at that point. 5 seconds go by and you haven't done any ultimates, just a couple of basic attacks. And then you completely wasted it, and she was not worth even putting on the team. So don't make those mistakes. Anyway. Sophia says the old live streams don't show the chat, which is weird. I added that at some point. I don't have the chat being shown on this one. I had them up on the screen for a while. If I wanted to, I could click a button and then our chat should be loading up in theory if people are sending messages. But I don't have a good spot for it on the screen right now, and I'm not too worried about it. So somebody type words real quick. Let's test this thing out and see if it works. I'm not sure because I copied a bunch of settings over from OBS to Streamlabs OBS. There's Jordan. Jordan's on the screen. Hello, friend. So yeah, I can put the chats on the screen, but that's the only way that I can save them on YouTube. On Twitch for the VODs, you can look at the chat at the same time, but I don't think that you can on YouTube. Bit of a challenge there. It is a bit of a challenge. Look at you guys doing your words and your words real quick. How dare you? You know what's weird is I'm on live chat and it still cut off some of the ones that you put on there. The chat pop-ups are pretty delayed. They always have been. But I don't love where those are sitting, so I'm not going to keep them on for now. Alright, so that's basically what I would do with your boy. I'm going agile, brutal, fierce, and probably aggressive to try it. And then if he's... I should say when he's dying too fast and I need to adjust it, I would probably get rid of either fierce or aggressive, depending on how that science ended up turning out from everything people were looking at before. So, I think that I want to do dramatic reading time, if people will indulge me with that. We haven't done one of those in many moons. Many, many moons. I don't really know if I have a team set up that's going to be super valid for doing this. Wow, there's not that many stages. Do you like it better or worse that there's not many stages? I feel like 6 is a little low. Kimberly wants a Jersey boy and a Valley girl. Thunderlord is Irish. I don't know if I can do an Irish accent. You know, I can slip into it, but then all of a sudden it's Australian 2 seconds later, and you're like, what's going on here? Have you lost yourself? As long as you get 10 stones, you don't care, that's fair. I hope we do get 10 stones here. I imagine we would. Reunion! Two brothers meet on a field covered by smoke and mist to discuss terms, but a storm approaches. On a desolate plain of fire where the rivers of lava meet the roiling sea, two figures stand opposed, one wreathed in smoke and the other in sea mist. This guy looks like he wants a Deckard Cain. How do you do a Greek accent? I don't know how to do a Greek accent. You guys, Kimberly, did you just say semen? You can't say that. Can't say that. I'm sure you can. It's fine. But no, not that. You've come far, Lord Poseidon. Hey, what I heard of your victory, as small as it was, I knew I had to see it for myself. Is that contempt, brother? My new kingdom is not so much smaller than your own, and I command a proper army. Your greatest supporters have blowholes. Yeah, perhaps you've forgotten who was the stronger Titan, eh? As the two brothers reach for their weapons, a crackling bolt of light strikes down from the sky. In a flash, a new figure stands between them with a familiar face. Jordan says, fucking blowholes! That was a good one. That was a good one. They are definitely basing champions off of Greek gods now. That is for sure. Alright, Zeus. It seems you have both forgotten. That's what he sounds like. He's got, because his voice is always cracking like lightning, right? Oh, it's fine, it's fine. Damn! Why are they so strong? Oh, and I gotta fight people when I don't know what they do. It's fine. When in doubt, just challenge it out. That's what I always say. Let's go ahead and get those auto battles going. Ooh. I can tell that I'm gonna have an issue. Being on the server and not playing for months, not a good thing. I don't think we're gonna be able to finish this. Let's try that again. Maybe those people weren't currently leveled up. That's a problem. Oh boy. Not bueno. Alright, we're gonna do some changes then. Change the old roster. We gotta keep him alive. I actually feel like we could get away with that. Except we want to be pulling Lightning Boy over there. I think we want to be pulling Lightning Boy, and then we're fine. Absolutely fine. Yeah, they are clapping my cheeks. But it's because being level 12 on this server, where literally everybody is all level 15, that's why I was considering, like, maybe I need to just start over, because how am I going to catch up? If I play for 6 months, they're going to be also playing for 6 months, and everything that I caught up on, they'll be advanced on other things. Not really a great way to come back. Alright, I guess we don't get to do that then. That wasn't even close. Not even close. I have depression. I have crippling depression. Alright. I'll just try switching it up. Sometimes you just gotta switch it up. I can do it on yours. You already beat it? Well, you're the strongest. Yeah, I'm like not even hurting him at all. My characters are just not... It's not scaled to my level at all, which is very sad. This honestly makes me feel like I just have to start on the new account they keep suggesting. Oh boy. Oh boy. Snagga, what's up, buddy? This is the first level of the dramatic reading we were trying to do, so... sad. That is sad. I can't imagine anybody actually wants to watch me start a new account, though. And I wonder if they would start me on a server where it's brand new, brand new. I don't know. You barely beat the first? Yeah, you were a little stronger than me when we left. Because I was specifically trying to stay at 12 stars so that I could actually get the new people up to that level, so that I could actually test things and progress. And even then, it was like you summon them and maybe I can get them up to level 10, and it's just a real struggle. The only way to really overcome that is to be very targeted and do more than one account so that I can summon everything. It put you in a server that's about 2 weeks old? I don't know, I might have to try that. Because if everything that I do is going to be awful and unplayable because it's been a long time, then I don't think that I'm going to have any fun with that. It looks like there's plenty of people that are around my range. This person's close. I don't know what their people do. I don't know what their people do, but they're close. I don't want male Samir next to female Lionstone. Let's try it out. Let's see what we got. Aims 2, please. He went for the Lionstone anyway and gave her the big ults. Not good. Not super good. Look at all this stuff going on, man. Yeah, I'm a nowhere and a nothing kind of guy right now. Oh, there goes their big ulti. Come on, you can do your ult. Get him! Get him! Well, she's still strong. She's still strong. Get her! Eat her butt! Eat her cheeks! I probably can't say that now. That's so dumb. That character is so dumb. Oh boy. That character is, she's dumb. I have no other words. That is so stupid. Although, if I did do a new account, guys, I could, aside from trying to do guide videos, I could do like a free-to-play account series, which could be fun for people. I'm not sure. But not being able to do this at all, and I don't have the resources to... I guess I could potentially star up some of my bigger people already, and then that just cuts into the fact, like, I'm catching up on all the other dudes is not possible. Whereas if I'm on a new account and I want to try the newer people, I don't have to get them up to 15 stars to be able to try them. On this server, I literally have to be 15 stars to even try my characters. And that is not functional. Not functional at all. So, sorry about that. We're just going to read what the new champions actually do. And I will just have disappointment. Because I was really excited for that account review. Water and Sun is what we are up to. The numbers in the bottom corner of the champions on this screen are how many copies I have. I have 35 of her. And that is because at the top I clicked on this. That takes it from normal to being stacked so I can see how many copies I have. And personally, I think that is awesome. I think that's a fantastic change. And, you know, props where props are due on that one. For sure. For sure, for sure. The nice thing is they want to give me a bunch of diamonds on the other account. The bad thing is I don't get my yearly check-in thing if I do a free-to-play, quote-unquote free-to-play. I mean, I guess getting all those extra diamonds when I start ruins that a little bit, but technically still free to play. All right, water and sun. Let me see what you got, girl. Or boy, whichever you are. This guy looks like the alien that Mexico just, did you see that? The Mexican government just released alien bodies. Alien bodies. And a lot of people are making fun of how they look. But they're supposed to be like 1,000-year-old mummies. And when you look at them, under the context of being a mummy, you're like, oh yeah, that's definitely got traits that a mummy has. But it does also look not... It's so alien that it makes you think it's not real. But they put out MRIs and X-rays. So I don't know. I don't know. I didn't look into it too much, but the pictures are neat, and if it's true, then that's cool. It wasn't the government. It was a Mexican. Well, they're showing it to Congress when they're having hearings like that. That's a disclosure hearing. So the government is putting it out there. So that's pretty cool. Well, you don't know if it's fake. You don't know if it's real. It's just interesting. There's no way to say either way. But this guy, my point is that this guy looks like that. The little crusty alien. That's what he looks like. In my opinion. Alright, Elysian reincarnation. The hamster ball guy? I did hear about the hamster ball guy. It's a llama skull backwards and kid's bones and a few other things. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I just, my friend showed me the picture of the little crusty boy. The little crusty boy. The thing that was weird for me is that the hands are like not hands. They're just fingers on the end of an arm. And I feel like that wasn't... The hip joint doesn't even fit right, so it wouldn't be able to walk. Well, now that one, if you're telling me it's a llama skull, we can look at it and say it's a llama skull. But if you're going to tell me an alien can't walk because of those hips, then I don't believe that. I mean, the fact of the matter is, people, aliens are real. That is a fact. That is an absolute fact. The debate is whether or not aliens have been here and whether or not we've had contact with them. There is no debate whether or not aliens are real. Of course aliens are real. Don't be silly. Do not be silly. That, the hips don't lie, says Kim. A guy tried to sue Olive Garden because he, quote-unquote, found a rat in his food. Oh, a rat foot in his soup. Disgusting. Alright, we're getting off topic. Getting off topic here. The water and sun. When an enemy is inflicted with control effects other than silenced and knockback, the caster gains 125 energy. When the caster is inflicted with control other than knockback, they become immune, which costs 150 energy. The immunity can be triggered once every 6 seconds. That's pretty good. I like that. It's simple and it's good. This is the stream where I alienated my audience? Yeah, probably. A lot of people don't want to accept the fact that life outside of the planet Earth is essentially inevitable. It's essentially inevitable. So, I don't know if we all count as aliens or not. It's possible. It is possible. They say that the only other animals that get sunburn are people are animals that live in the water, like whales. Yeah, because they're not used to the sun. You're convinced your sister is an alien? I don't know. If you saw the hearing that they did in the United States Congress, it's highly possible. Highly possible that there's some crazy stuff going on. There's been military people leaking the same sort of information for decades and decades, and The CIA has come out and admitted that they have engaged in disinformation programs to lead people off of the track of all of the alien stuff that has had whistleblowers mention it before. Why would they do that if none of it was true? Wouldn't they just go, whatever, it's no big deal? The words conspiracy theory came from when they were trying to make people seem crazy who were saying that the CIA had stuff to do with the JFK assassination, and now it's come out and the documents have been found, and it is 100% proven that the CIA are the ones who did the JFK assassination. So, I don't know, don't be so quick to judge. You feel me? I just say that I don't know, because I don't know. Time to question Area 51 again? Yeah, people showed up at Area 51, and what were they going to do? They were going to murder those people. They were going to murder them. So, I don't know. We started talking about aliens, and now we're just hemorrhaging viewers. Sorry, guys, I'll get back to the task. My bad. Alright, his active skill. He grants Brisk to 2 allied champions with the lowest HP, recovering their HP by 850% of the caster's strength, reducing their damage taken by 20% for 3 seconds. If cast upon the caster themselves, they get healing and become invincible for 3 seconds. Well, that's good. That's stupid good. Elysian Veil. Channeling the spell for a short time consumes 125 energy per second to summon a roaring wave that ripples through the battlefield, restoring all allied champions' constitution by 300% of the caster's strength, and dealing damage to all enemies equal to 300% of the caster's strength. For every 5 waves that hit, allied champions are healed by an additional 10% of their max constitution, and enemies will be inflicted with an additional stunned effect for 2 seconds, and when you hit that stunned effect on the other people, it's going to trigger this, which is going to give you a bunch of energy, which keeps that thing going. So, realistically, you want to be keeping this guy with somebody who's going to apply effects other than silenced and knockback so that he continuously gains energy. I don't know. Maybe somebody like the guy who just came out that stuns with his basic attacks that are piercing and hit more than one person. That could be good. That could be good. Alright. Snagga says, you like that dude? The male Water and Sun? Yeah, I think that the male Water and Sun seems stupid good. When taking skill damage from enemies triggers a precognition effect which grants immunity to all damage, excluding control effects for 3 seconds and restores 350 energy. It's so weird to me. So weird. So they want to go out of their way to specify that they are excluding control effects, but they don't need to do that because they just said skill damage. Control effects are not skill damage. If you're just taking an effect and the effect doesn't do damage, of course it doesn't apply. But there's so many other things in the game that need the clarification and they just don't give it. So I guess I would rather have them do this and be more detailed than they need to be than to have less detail like they usually do. But I will say this seems pretty okay. It's pretty okay. Immunity to damage and getting over a third of your ultimate bar every 8 seconds is pretty decent. Generate a water shield to protect the weakest allied champion, including the caster themselves, reducing their damage taken by 40% for 4 seconds. After that, the water shield breaks, dealing damage to all nearby enemies equal to 480% of the caster's strength, inflicting stun on them for 2 seconds. And the shield also breaks if the allied champion dies when the shield is on, of course. It's nice that it actually, they're saying that it doesn't just fall off, it actually will do the damage if you get killed. So that's pretty good, but this is like, if you want to commit less to being a solid healer, you take her. And then if you want more sustain, you take the male. Continuously cast spells, restoring all allied champions' constitution by 35% of the caster's max constitution for 2.5 seconds. The recovery effect is true healing, which is unaffected by any debuff and cannot be interrupted. That is really good. What's not really good is that it's based on her constitution, which I would assume is not that high. Meaning you definitely need to have energetic on her. There's no other option. You do not take anything in the place of energetic on her. That would be foolish. But the fact that you can't reduce this healing is crazy. That's crazy. Now, it says you're continually casting spells, restoring all allied champions. Now, I'm not sure if that means over the course of 2.5 seconds, you heal each person once. That's what I would assume from this. Otherwise, they would have given us like it heals them for this much every second for 2.5 seconds or whatever stupid thing. Turn up the voice volume? Turn up my voice volume, you mean? Are you sure about that? Are you sure I don't just need to turn down the game volume? Because I can do that very easily. I don't want to blow your eardrums out with my audio, but I can turn it up. Do you need me to? Somebody else confirm and I'll do it. Oh, the Sun and Water girl's voice. Ah. Well, in that case, do you want me to just preview her? We can do that. She'll say something, right? Or not. That was cool. Some of those are very similar. I don't think I've heard. I don't think I've heard her voice. I can always be louder. Lanky Lanks got me on low. I don't need to be cranking my GMs. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. She seems alright. I don't know. But she just seems alright to me. I feel like she can live for a long time, but I don't feel like the healing that she provides is going to be anywhere near what the male does. I mean, she's not just healing, she's doing shields and stuff. But I don't know. I'm not seeing it being that not as good as the male. She's probably fine and perfectly usable, but I think the male is like really strong. And I think that she's just... Look at this guy. He looks pretty cool. I like that. See, this is like a fairly original design, but it still gives you like, oh, he's kind of got the Predator thing going on. That's weird. Very good. He can do a rend. The skill also inflicts a layer of bleeding when dealing damage, which causes the target to lose constitution equal to 150% of the caster's strength once per 3 seconds. This effect stacks up to 3 layers, increasing caster's strength by 12% for each layer of bleeding effect all enemies have. I mean, it doesn't suck, but it's alright. Thing is, in a game like this damage over time, especially one that's like stacking, the extra strength is nice, but this damage that's happening, if you're waiting for it to happen, then it's not happening. That's why in games like Diablo 4, when you're doing a bleed build, unless you're aware that you're doing a bleed build, and you put on the bleeds, and then you move along, and let the guys drop dead from the bleed, your bleed isn't actually doing any damage. It's just a being there to do damage if nothing else happens, but you're going to do other damage first before it matters. And you're probably going to run into that a lot with this guy, where that just doesn't... It's going to tick once or twice for minor damage and not really make a difference. Into the foray. Swiftly charge behind the nearest enemy target, dealing damage to them and all enemies along the path equal to 480% of the caster's strength. Targets will receive additional damage equal to 50% of their lost constitution, capped at 1200% of the caster's strength. Also restores constitution equal to the amount of aforementioned additional damage. That seems pretty good. That seems pretty good because it's going to apply the bleed to a lot of people, which means that it's going to stack a lot of strength for you. However, this only stacks on skills. It says the skill, but I'm assuming it means both of these skills. So you could end up getting a lot of strength from this, from doing your active skill that will apply to your ultimate, which makes it all right. But it's another one of those where this is a line attack, and you need people to be in a line where you can hit enough people for it to be worth it. If you're not hitting 3 people with this active skill, then you shouldn't be playing this guy. If you're not setting the enemy team up so that you are hitting at least 3 people, you should take this guy off your team. That's what I think, and I haven't even read his ultimate yet. Swings tail swiftly, dealing 550% damage of the caster's strength and pulls targets. Afterwards deals damage to all enemies within range, equal to 250% of the caster's strength, stunning them for 2 seconds. Now, having him pull after he's done his dash does absolutely nothing for me. Really does nothing. It's nice. Look, pulling people in is always nice, especially if you got any kind of AoE attacks. That's fine. Pulling people in on an ultimate skill is not nearly as good, not by a long shot, even if it's a much better pull, because you want people to be pulled in when you're doing ultimates. Otherwise, what was the point? By the time you get back to your ultimate, which is your big damage, they're already scattered again. So, what did you accomplish? Not that much unless you're the first person who's going to ult for your team, and then you're looking at traits trying to manage who's going to actually ult first and making that work. It can be a little bit of an issue. That doesn't mean there's nobody that he works with, and that doesn't mean there's no way to do this so that it's good. You can put him in the back left, for instance, and then in positions 1 and 2 you've got other melee characters, and that's going to draw the enemy's melee characters closer, and it's likely that just by positioning that way you might be able to hit 3 people. It's not like he's useless, you just have to be making sure that you are hitting several people with that active skill, and if you can hit the whole team with it, then now you're really doing well. But usually with a line attack, it's pretty easy to just hit 3 people. That's how I was using the female Fulgur for a long time, and I think that this guy would work in a similar fashion. You just gotta play with it and figure it out. But if you're only hitting 2, don't even bother. Is the guy good? I mean, yeah, he seems alright. It depends on the range of this lash, I think. I'm not too worried about the range of the dash, because I feel like this dashing thing, they pretty much have their distance of the lines figured out and it's always the same. That's probably fine. If this area is a decent size, then he's probably pretty decent. Seems like most of the characters in the game, you almost always have to play around one type of tune. Yeah, I feel like if you want to make people good, that's why I say that male Aeson is so good. And that's why female Lionstone is so good. And a few of the other characters. It's because you can put them on any team, in any position, and you don't have to think about them. And when you have characters that you can just slot in like that, then that allows you to do the sort of crafting for your team that you need to do to make some of these characters who could either just be okay or they could be fantastic. You can actually take them to the point where they're fantastic. And I feel like this guy probably could get there, especially if your team is making it to second ultimates and he has a ton of stacks up, and then he does his second ultimate, you're probably just devastating people with that second ultimate. But you can't have him be garbage and not gaining stacks or being effective for damage for the first half of the fight, because you're just wasting your time. And you could put anybody else there who's just going to do way more. But I think he seems pretty decent. He's certainly usable. I don't think he's changing the game. He's not the new meta. You have him on the main team. I think that he, like I said, I think he can be good. I think if you build around him, he could be great. But most people aren't going to do that. So I can't say that he's great, just on his own merits. Reptilian Instinct. Normal attacks steal an additional 70 energy from the target. Awesome. If the caster takes more damage than 10% of max constitution in the last 3 seconds, triggers a shed tail effect. The caster leaves a part of their tail behind as a decoy to attract enemy attacks, which lasts for 3.5 seconds, dispelling all debuffs and teleports behind the current target with invincibility for 2 seconds. And that's pretty cool. Once per 8 seconds, you get to do Shadow Clone Jutsu or whatever. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Gaining a little bit of immunity is nice. Stealing the enemy's energy is nice. This is another one where attack speed is a big deal. If you're going to be doing this and you're going to be doing normal attacks that have an extra effect like this, you really need the attack speed. You need it. I'm glad that it hasn't been this long of descriptions for every single skill in the entire game. They cut them down for a little bit. They were getting a little more simple. I do like a lot of the character designs that I'm seeing, though. I think the only ones that I thought were poo-poo and you shouldn't use them were the parades. She needs a Speedy Boy build? Well, not necessarily Speedy Boy. I'll figure out soon if she needs focused, but definitely agile. Without question, she needs agile. Dagger Dive randomly targets an enemy champion at the back row and throws a dagger at them, which ricochets to 2 more nearby enemy targets upon hit, each time dealing 300% damage of the caster's strength. Afterwards, the dagger drops on the ground behind the last target for 4 seconds. The caster then teleports to the dagger and picks it up to attack nearby enemies, dealing 200% damage of the caster's strength. So let's just process that fucking paragraph that we just read. So basically, what is likely to happen is she's going to run in and start stabbing people. She will take 10% of her max constitution in the last 3 seconds, probably before she even does her active skill. I'm not sure if that's the case. It doesn't always have to be the case, but if she's one of the people who's going to start taking damage, and I will contend that she should be one of the people who's taking damage. Why should she be one of the people who's taking damage? Let's review. If you put her in the front line, she's taking the first hits, and that's going to keep your other people from taking hits. And it's okay that she's doing that, because as soon as she takes 10% of her health and damage, she's going to disappear into a puff of fart and be invincible for a little while. What's that going to do? It's going to drop aggro and she's not going to be taking the damage any longer. So if you can get her to reach that invincibility state before people are doing their active skills, and you can be invincible while people are doing their active skills, now you just got yourself a tanky assassin. Now you're doing some good stuff. So after she does that and she teleports behind people, we're all getting to the place where we're going to start doing our active skills. Now she starts chucking daggers around, which ricochet to some nearby enemies, and then she teleports yet again. Now what is this going to do? This could potentially get her out of another enemy attack. If they're targeting something on a ground, which happens all the time, there's always ground targets, and you're moving away from that ground target, then you are saving yourself damage. So these teleports that are happening are strong defensive abilities, even though they don't sound like that on the tin. Jordan says, "Puff the farting dragon." That's a good one, homie. That's a good one. Alright, so this is going to end up doing 300% damage 3 times, it seems like, and then another 200% damage to the final enemy, which is the one she's teleported behind. That is a decent amount of damage, and there's good utility in teleporting around. The problem is that you're spreading the damage everywhere, so it's kind of a give or take. I think that she sounds fun and cool, but so far, that doesn't sound like it's something that you can really build around. It's just that she's fun and cool. But there's still more to read, so that might change. This also increases the caster's attack speed by 30% and reduces damage taken by 30% for 4 seconds. So look at that, she's tankier again. For 4 seconds. When the dagger is in the air, the caster can attack and cast ultimate attacks as usual. When all starting back row enemies are killed, it'll randomly target another enemy. Okay, I think this is good. I think targeting back row people, that's good. Getting your increased attack speed when we just said that we needed it, that's good. Getting damage reduction when we just said that she's trying to be somewhat tanky, maybe not. She's not trying to be tanky in the traditional sense of mitigating damage. She's being tanky in the sense of avoiding damage, which means that it can fail, and if it fails, she might feel pretty squishy, but if it succeeds, then she could end up lasting a long time and being a real annoying problem for the enemy. And then we got this tiny little ultimate that's just so simple. We love that. Becomes a storm of blades for 2 seconds and quickly slash at the enemies. And slashes at the target and the nearest enemy. Sorry, let me read that again. Become a storm of blades for 2 seconds and quickly slashes at the target and the nearest enemy, dealing 750% damage of the caster's strength. The attack won't trigger energy recovery for the enemies. That's awesome. That's just what you want. She's going into the backline anyway. You're probably only going to have 2 enemies by you anyway. And she's going to do this series of attacks that is going to be annoying for them, but not annoying for you in the way that the male Samir's push is annoying for you, because it gives them a lot of energy. I think she's good. I think she seems real fun. And if you have a tactical mind and you're aware of what the enemy is capable of, you'll probably be able to position her in ways that's going to do you a lot of favors. Especially if you're the kind of person that wants to run people like Female Lionstone, or somebody who's very useful, but they need to be up front, and they're also kind of squishy. And Male Samir is another option of that, or another example of that, where he's going to end up taking a lot of damage, and if you can stop him from taking damage immediately, then you're doing a good thing. She probably pairs extremely well with Male Samir, because you can put them together and she can take some of that heat off of him at the beginning, but also she's going to teleport into the back, and he's going to dive into the back, and then he'll have some support back there while she's also hitting all the enemies and teleporting around and being all crazy. I think that she could be really good. Position her in ways that's going to do her a lot of favors, and then my wife, in real life, writes Pornhub. Imagine that. Imagine. Alright, Dawnbreakers. Let's hit them. Let's hit them. And nobody's going to play the Pornhub theme? Come on, what's wrong with you? Somebody's going to get it right. Dawnbreakers, a.k.a. the Armored Aesons. There it is. We knew it. We knew it had to be a thing. When the caster enters the battlefield, he immediately casts the ultimate skill. Damn! The caster loses 50 energy per second in the next 8 seconds. During the battle, the caster's attacks cannot be dodged and inflict divine damage, which ignores invincibility. Wow. It also ignores damage immunity and death immunity effects on the target. So if you're trying to kill those really annoying people that become invincible, there's kind of a lot of them now, he's going to be good for that. We're going to go out of order here, and I'm going to read the ultimate because he does it right away. Caster inflicts damage to the enemy target equal to 860% of their strength. Of her strength. This is the dude. Well, I'm not going to get into the gender politics of that one, but the caster inflicts damage to the enemy target equal to 860% of their strength, casting a prophecy. If the affected target casts an ultimate skill in the next 8 seconds, all allied champions recover 250 energy and gain a 25% damage reduction effect for 5 seconds. Okay, so this is just what Neo Geo was doing with his male Aeson. It's the same. Just get out there, do big ulti, be happy. If you have this guy and you put a lot of vigor on him, he's probably gonna, like, when you go into arena, you're just gonna have a lot of fun. Who's farting on me? Oh, Nimberly. You're just gonna have a lot of fun blowing people up right at the beginning, and that could be good. if they cast an ultimate skill in the next 8 seconds, unfortunately, if the first thing that you're doing is casting your ultimate, unless they are running Speedy Boy traits, they are probably not going to be casting their ultimates in the next 8 seconds. Snag is not home for the Twitch. Got you. Got you, homie. I mean, not homie right now, but... so this second effect, I don't think it's going to be happening as often as you want off of the first cast. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I still think it's a good ability, especially since over the course of the match, you're getting this twice. By the time normal people are getting one. Loses 50 energy per second in the next 8 seconds. Now, I'm not sure if that completely makes it so that you're not able to overcome this to get your ultimate back. But I think that this is possibly a good thing, because it's likely to time your ultimate so that when you do the second ultimate, it is going to definitely be within 8 seconds of the enemies doing their second set of ultimates, if it comes to that. And then you should almost be guaranteed to get all of this, and that's great. So some people might look at this losing energy and think that it's terrible. I think that it's setting up the timing to be better than what it would have been otherwise. Because if you do your ultimate and then they build up their whole energy bars and you just miss it, but then you ult right away and then they build up their energy bars and you just miss it, well, that's not nearly as good as if you did the 2 ultimates in a slightly larger window and then you guarantee that you get the rest of this on the second one. I can't say for sure that's how it's going to work, but I think that could help. Alright, for the active skill, the caster attacks the enemy with the highest strength, dealing 480% damage of their strength, and inflicts visions of truth for 8 seconds. Targets affected will have their total strength capped at 75% of their starting strength, and this effect cannot be removed. So, there are good things about that, but when their strength is capped at 75%, and then you have a strength reduction effect on your enemy that is 25%, you're not putting that enemy at 50%. You're bringing them down to the cap of 75% and then gaining nothing. So trying to stack strength reduction with this guy is actually going to lose you effectiveness, and you should probably just be happy with what he's doing to remove their strength. Otherwise you got to put so much more into it that there was no point putting him on the team for that effect anyway. So if you want to use him for strength reduction, then just let him handle it and don't try to stack it with the rest of your team. I don't think it's worth it. Sophia says you got the female Dawnbringer, but don't like her so much. You like as much as you like the Bloodcraft? Well, I don't have any Bloodcraft, so I'm jealous of you. Which one do you have? Is it the Bloodstorm? The old Bloodstorm? For this ability, he's attacking the enemy with the highest strength, so he's guaranteeing that he's getting the biggest effect of this, but he's not doing that much damage. It also says he's dealing 480% damage of their strength. So I don't know if their strength means that whatever the highest strength enemy is, that's what you're going to be copying. If that's the case, there are reasonable scenarios where you don't even need to build strength on this guy. But usually I imagine you would be building a lot of strength on this guy. Because what you want to do is you want to blow people up with this big attack. You want to devastate their ranks. And if you're, by the way, let me suggest, if you're running this on this guy, it might be worth forsaking some of your extra damage to do the build with relatively speedy traits up to and maybe even including a high level devout, so that you are getting, by the time people are doing active skills, all of your team is ulting, and you're just going to eliminate some of their weaker players before they even get a chance to do anything. It could be a really, really fun way to just come out and nuke the field, and it could be a really fast way to get through things like Dungeon Descent, even though they have the skip button now. I don't know about you, but I almost don't like using the skip button. It's nice because it's faster, but it looks so glitchy and weird. I just want it to be like, I press the skip button and it's like, yay, you win! But it's, you press the skip button and it's like, yay, you win! It's like the delay and the stuttering thing. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. He goes boom and usually immediately kills somebody. I imagine when you get vigor on him, he probably starts immediately killing people. I don't know if that would be the case if you don't have vigor. But then again, ya boy's been gone for a while, and I haven't been around preaching the you need a defensive trait. So a lot of new players might just be coming out here with no defensive traits, getting their whole buttholes blown out and being like, well, the male Dawnbringer's so overpowered, he comes out and he just blows everybody up, I don't get to play. And it's like, well, you don't have any defense, and he gets a free big-ass ultimate. Now your butthole hurts. What did you think was going to happen? There was one thing that was going to happen, and it did. So hopefully people are building defensive traits, because it's important. It is quite important. She's pretty. Come on, guys, she's pretty. And she's a real ball juggler. I'm sorry, I gotta stop talking about balls and buttholes. It's not appropriate. I'm sorry if I forced you to leave with the precarious language I've been using. Divine Prophecy. During the battle, increase the caster's crit evade rate by 30%. When the battle starts, the caster simultaneously casts the following prophecies. An enemy mage champion is deployed. 2 allied champions are killed successively in 4 seconds. When the prophecy is fulfilled, the caster gains 30% damage reduction for 10 seconds. When the second prophecy is fulfilled, immediately removes all allied champions' debuffs and grants each of them a shield equal to 10% of their max constitution for 8 seconds. The prophecy can only be fulfilled once in one battle. That's okay. It's aight. I mean, so the first prophecy with the mage champion, if they just happen to have a mage, you've already triggered the thing. Fine. I have 60%, or I have 30% damage reduction and 30% crit evade rate. That's fine. It lasts for 10 seconds. You might even make it through the first ultimate with that. But if they don't have a mage on their team, then you never get the big one, the second prophecy fulfilled. So you're just counting on the fact that everybody's using a mage. I guess maybe they are. Probably a lot of people are. Probably a lot of people are using mages, and maybe that's fine. But if they're not using a mage, then this sucks. It's okay, but it sucks. Everyone is using a mage, I assume. Probably they are. Which just makes it, like, why? Like, why? What they should have done is they should have had it be random. That would have been much more interesting. If the prophecy was a guess, and you get 2 options. It'd be difficult for people to escape it. But if they did, then you'd be like, aw, man. People have basically always had at least one mage. But because people see it do big damage, that's all I need. But really, that's not true. That's not all you need. Chain of Judgment. Links up with the enemy champion with the highest energy for a total of 5 seconds. The linked enemy champion takes 120% damage of the caster's strength per second and has their constitution regeneration reduced by 40%. Each time the enemy target gains energy, the caster steals 50% of it. That's okay. That's going to end up doing 600% of your strength. Her strength is relatively high. For single target, it's okay. But her passive is doing just fucking nothing. It's really not doing much. It's just not. A 10% shield, it's okay, but it's really nothing. It's just really nothing. And having a limited time damage reduction, it's just not that good. Because you have to have 2 allied champions killed within 4 seconds, right? They have to die within 4 seconds of each other. When is that going to happen, I ask you, in the battle? It's going to happen when the enemy is doing their ultimate. So then you have 10 seconds to have damage reduction after the enemy has already spent their ultimates, and then you're reducing how much they're gaining energy anyway, so you're pushing that back farther. So it's possible that you're going to do 30% damage reduction on one of the enemy ultimates. It's possible, but is it likely that you're going to get a huge amount of damage reduction over many of the enemy ultimates because of this? No! No, you're lucky if you get 1 per activation. Yes, I know, the kids, they be stomping. They do be stomping. So, and then also this debuff, it's nice that you're stealing the energy, and maybe when we see her ultimate, we'll think that she's just awesome. But I feel like this character so far is poop. Big old poopy poopy. Immediately remove all debuffs, excluding those that cannot be removed, from the allied champion with the least constitution, and cast a prophecy. That allied champion must stay alive for 5 seconds during the prophecy period. All damage taken by that allied champion will be calculated after the prophecy expires. That allied champion also receives true healing during the period, recovering the total of 25% of their max constitution. That was a terrible way to word what they were saying. Basically, you give somebody their period and they get to stay alive for 5 seconds. And that's it. And then they get hit with all the damage at once. But also they get to heal for 25% of their max constitution, thereby possibly saving them. This chick sucks. I feel like she just sucks. Have fun at work, Snag. I love you, buddy. I hope they all treat you well. You deserve it. Sophia says female Dawnbringer sucks. Male is better. I agree. She sucks. I like utility abilities. I like abilities that are not just damage. And I like making the most of them to make my teams really sing and surprise people with strategies that they weren't expecting, which is usually how you're going to kill these meta teams that are expecting you to be playing the meta teams. She ain't going to help you do that. I just don't think she does enough on anything that she's doing. And it's all too situational and not super good. I would not use. Everybody said female Aeson sucks. Female Aeson actually can do some work. That chick can't do nothing. Maybe she can. Maybe I'm just not maybe I don't understand something, but I don't think she's that good. So you can link the Bloodstorm to her for the mythics and levels? Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Alright, we're going to start with the female this time. Lady Sidon. Quickly restore 12% of the caster's max constitution within 2 seconds each time an active skill or ultimate skill is cast. When the caster's constitution is lower than 50%, the recovery effect is increased by 30%. I'm assuming that this means anytime she casts an active or ultimate skill. If it means anybody on any team casts an ultimate skill, she's going to be staying alive, staying alive. But that seems overpowered if it was like that. Because between the active and the ultimate, when you go through a cycle of that and you've got 10 people who are doing those things, you're healing for more than a whole health bar just based on your passive. And then you just get to keep doing that. I don't think that that's going to be allowed. So this must only apply on her own skills. Ripple of Impact. Summon a wave of water toward the furthest enemy, dealing damage to all enemies along the path equal to 250% of the caster's strength, launching them airborne. When the wave reaches its destination, it recedes and pulls all enemies along the path, dealing damage equal to 270% of the caster's strength. For every additional enemy hit, the skill's remaining cooldown is reduced by 6%. That is super good. That is really good. Very, very good. Sophia says, your female Tidebringer is pretty good. Got to put constitution traits on her. Yeah, she seems... I feel like this active skill is super good. Super good. I'm not sure if you need... I like to have energetic on everybody unless they're doing a lot of healing. She's doing a lot of healing, so I feel like in this case, it's sort of... Well, it depends. Okay, if this only applies on her skills that she's doing, then you want energetic. If it applies whenever anybody casts an active skill or ultimate skill, then you want honorable. I'm not sure which way they would go. It clearly says that each time an active or ultimate skill is cast. It doesn't say anything about it being hers, but it's Goat Games, so I am absolutely sure that it only applies to hers, even though that's not what it says. So yeah, and in that case, if it only applies to hers, you do want energetic. Otherwise, you want honorable. Active skill, super good. Super duper good. The knock-up stun is a really strong stun. Pulling people in is also really good, and being able to hit the cooldown to do that a lot. Yeah, that seems great. You could end up with 30% cooldown reduction on that. Damn. Love it. And I wonder if there's ever going to be pets that you can hit. Are there already pets that you can hit besides the badger? I don't know if the badger would count. Maybe. Alright, summon a massive wave of water from above that sweeps over the entire area, dealing damage to all enemies equal to 650% of the caster's strength, inflicting stun for 5 seconds. The damage and stunned effect will decrease with distance, but not lower than 325% of the caster's strength, inflicting 2 seconds of stunned. That's super good. It depends on how fast this diminishes in power. That might change where you want to put her. If it diminishes a lot, and if this heals when anybody does their skills, you could put her in the front line and be real happy about your life. I do think that that's possible, and I think it could be good. I do think that she's very good, and she seems very fun. I would like to use her. Her and male Water and Sun and female Ho with Lizard Dudes and Zeus. I could see that. I could see that for sure. Now, Poseidon is also looking very cool, much like Zeus is looking very cool. He's got that little angry look to him. Look at this. Look at this one sentence. Increase the caster's strength resistance by 35%. What does strength resistance mean? I'm not sure if that just means damage reduction versus normal attacks, resistance to having your strength lowered. What the fuck does that even mean? Somebody help me. I don't know what that means. Nobody knows? Classic. See, they couldn't clarify that, right? But they had to clarify on the other one that even though it says damage, they're like, oh, we don't mean just special effects, we mean damage. Well, yeah, you said damage. Of course you mean damage. Alright, anyway. Slam the ground to attack all nearby enemies, dealing damage equal to 460% of the caster's strength, which inflicts stunned on them for 1.5 seconds. The slam creates a water puddle for 5 seconds, increasing all allied champions' strength resistance by 25%, reducing all enemies' attack speed by 30%, and when they are in the puddle, only when they are in the puddle. The strength resistance boost effect can stack with the champion's own passive skills. I just don't know what that means. I feel like it means you're resisting people reducing your strength. That's what I think that it means. No one knows, but it's provocative. It means she takes less damage than usual. Sophia, are you talking about the strength resistance? That's what I'm talking about. Because, well, if we look at honorable. Alright. If we look at honorable, which I probably have on her, right? Maybe? No. Somewhere we've got it. Oh, it's going through all of her. No, stop, please. Don't do me this way. Back. Not that. Alright. Find me an honorable. I'm sure it exists somewhere, even though it's not my favorite. See, the reason that it doesn't make sense that they would say strength reduction and mean that you're reducing damage is because this does that, and it's called damage reduction. Now, they're not consistent with what they say, I'll give you that. But, I'm not sure what strength resistance is supposed to mean. I'm assuming it's you're resisting people lowering your strength, because they have recently added a lot of things that do lower your strength. So that's what I'm sticking with for now. So you're attacking all enemies around you. It depends on the range, whether or not this is good. There's so many stuns coming out these days. I guess they're just trying to extend the battles to some degree. But I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Reducing enemy attack speed can be good, because there's a lot of good people who are new that their attack speed is kind of a big deal. It's so weird that these guys are tanks. I like that they're not going the more obvious direction with it. Like, obviously making Poseidon and Zeus a mage makes sense. I like that they're not doing that. I've been criticizing them when they're doing stuff I don't like, so I should mention when I do like the stuff that they're doing. And that is one of the things that I do like about it. I'm not sure that it depends on the range. If this range is decent, then this is a good skill, otherwise it sucks. After casting, create a surge of torrent every 1 second at 2 random enemies' locations with a certain range in the next 4 seconds. Within a certain range in the next 4 seconds. Launching the target airborne and dealing damage equal to 300% of the caster's strength, inflicting stun for 1 second. Okay. You create a surge every 1 second for 4 seconds with a total targets of 8. Your total targets of 8 are going to take 300% of the caster's strength. But it also seems like it's possible that those could hit more than one person. If those can hit more than one person, if the enemies are grouped up nice and tight, then that's crazy strong. If it cannot do that, then it's okay. I think the guy seems pretty decent, but I think that the female gives you more utility and is stronger in general. That's what I think. You know what strength resistance might mean? Strength resistance might mean that you are reducing the enemy's strength, but only when they attack you. So if they do an AoE attack, and it hits 3 people, and this guy has strength resistance, then his 2 friends will take the full amount of damage, but he will take it as if the enemy had 35% less strength. Possibly. And in that way it's different than damage reduction. How? I don't know. It changes the calculation a little bit. I don't know. Be clear about what you mean. That is so annoying. It's a game about strategy. I want to be able to figure out what I'm strategizing. So, this chick does decent damage for a tank. Big, important arrows saying, for a tank. You with me? Keep that in mind. She does decent damage for a tank, to the point where it might actually be noticeable. But honestly, I feel like all of her stuff is just better. It's just better. You get more stun and more CC and more control of the enemies and more sustain on your own character. She seems like she's really good. I would use her. I would use her. That's for sure. He's 2 heroes ago, so not much testing yet. 2 heroes ago is a month. If your content creators were doing more of work in that direction for you, you might know. And I'm not saying that if I come back, I'll be the guy to do it. But but there are people who, for other games, will go and data mine and dig in and see how the code functions. I don't think we have a network of people that's set up to do that yet. Maybe if I come back full-time and become huge, we'll be doing that. Alright. 2 more characters to go through here. We've got the Sinner's Bane. The caster's normal attacks deal 100 energy from the target, reducing damage taken from enemies with higher energy by 34%. You steal 100 energy from the target, and you reduce damage taken from enemies with higher energy by 34%. And increase damage dealt to enemies with lower energy by 34%. I guess that's okay. Either of those are good effects. You don't have any real control over how you're using that, but I think that's good. There's a lot of stuff that is just reducing enemy energy, and I feel like those teams could be fun. The problem is those teams aren't very good in... They're not great in Arena because you already start with a bunch of energy, and they're not great in Valley of Conquerors and those types of places because you can store up your energy and take it with you. So it might not matter. Merciless Pursuit. We teleport behind the enemy with the highest energy to launch a quick strike, dealing damage to all enemies within a fan-shaped area equal to 480% of the caster's strength, draining 30% of their current energy, as well as reducing their strength by 25% and constitution regeneration by 60%. Okay, so the problem here, it's not a huge problem. There's a chance that you're going to do your active skill first, and then the enemy does their active skill, and you have reduced their strength, and then that was great, and you took less damage. But if you miss that window, and then you reduce their strength, maybe it reduces their strength for their ultimate, but like we've said many times before, it also might not, and you are specifically keeping them from doing their ultimate. Why do they keep doing this? They keep making it so that you're reducing their strength for a limited time, and also you're making it much more difficult for yourself to have them ult in the time that their strength is reduced. Why? I don't like that. It doesn't mean it sucks, it's just like counterintuitive to why... I don't know why they would put those two things in the same character. It does not synergize with itself. Other than that, though, I think that's a pretty decent ability. I would love to see the size of that fan. I'm assuming it's not huge, in that I assume if you're in the back row that you're not going to be hitting anybody in the front row. That's what I mean by not huge. If it was huge, then you would be hitting people in the front row as well. Likely you're only going to hit 2 people with this. It seems to be balanced around that fact. I think it's a relatively good ability. In general. It just doesn't synergize with her passive, but it's relatively good. Continuously slash all enemies in front, dealing total damage equal to 800% of the caster's strength. Ends the slashes with a charging strike, dealing additional damage equal to 300% of the caster's strength, and knocks back the targets. The caster becomes immune to control effects while casting the ultimate, and all enemies hit by the skill cannot recover Constitution for 6 seconds. That's really good. She's really good. Yeah, I think they are really good. Only other content creator you know is Lion Roar. He does tier lists. The old tier lists. Well, I won't try to take that from him. I wish him the best. This does a lot of damage, and it has a lot of great utility, including making people not able to heal. And this one actually does synergize with the fact that you are reducing people's energy, which means you're going to ult first, usually. And if you ult first, and then you make it so that they can't recover Constitution for 6 seconds, then all of these healers that are doing their crazy ults are getting shut down, and they don't get to do that anymore, and you're going to have a good time. So I think that this is a really good ability. Really fun rogue. It's like better male Yiv, and I like it. I like it a lot. I think that's good. Most likely, I wonder if when you do your ultimate, does it snapshot the damage from before you did your ultimate, or do you activate your ultimate and now your energy is lower, so you lose out on the 30%, 34% extra damage because you used all of your energy and then you're attacking. Hopefully they don't do that. Hopefully it does a snapshot and you get the 34% bonus damage on your actual ultimate. That would be way better. But I do think she's cool. I think she's fun. I think she looks awesome. Sort of Strixbane-y. It almost looks like they made a Strixbane hybrid, doesn't it? But very cool. It's your boy, it's Super Shredder, and he's here to take down all of the Ice Crown Citadels. Potence of Doomsday. All strength increase buffs are converted into energy gain rate at a conversion rate of 20%. Each normal attack reduces the caster's active skills cooldown by 16%, and each damage taken reduces it by 8%. In Dominant State, the conversion rate rises to 25%, and the cooldown reduction increases by 25%. I'm trying to figure out how this is not just wildly overpowered, because it seems wildly overpowered to me. Only have her at level 12 to find out, so you can't find out how good she is yet? Yeah, I think she's going to be very good. Super good. Super good, actually. Alright. So, there is a downside here. All strength increase buffs are converted into energy gain rate at a conversion rate of 20%. So, when you're buffing your strength, you're not buffing your strength. But you're going to get ultimates, and that's really cool. Each normal attack reduces the caster's active skills cooldown by 16%. You want Agile on this guy. That's what that says. It says it right here, you can see. Look, I'm reading along with it. You want to have Agile on this character, or you are making a huge mistake, so don't do that. That's what that sentence said. Did you see? I read along with it. Yeah, and when you take damage, it also restores it. Crazy. Crazy. And that's, it just increases. It just gets better. What were they thinking? Alright, maybe the rest of his abilities suck, and then he won't be overpowered. This is the big one. If this skill is good, then this guy is wildly overpowered, and you need to get him and put him on your team. Let's figure it out. Conjures a cloud of dark mist to shroud the caster for 10 seconds, dealing damage to nearby enemies equal to 70% of the caster's strength, and generating a shield with the same amount of durability for 3 seconds. Enemies affected by the mist cannot recover Constitution, and in Dominant State, the range of the mist is greatly increased and deals damage every 0.8 seconds. The mist can stack up to 3 layers, and the caster becomes immune to control effects while at max layers. So, just by standing by people, we're doing damage equal to 70% of the caster's strength. Now, they don't say how often that ticks. I did get him. I did. What I need to know about this is how often does my damage tick? Obviously, it does tick. They don't say anything. It could be half a second. It could be 1 second. It says it generates a shield with the same amount of durability for 3 seconds, but I'm not guessing that it would wait 3 seconds to do it. Otherwise, that skill's not actually that strong. Because 70%, it does it every 3 seconds. Depending on how they calculate that, you're going to get 3 or 4 ticks. Even at 4 ticks, it's not a lot of damage at all. But it stacks a lot. So I don't think the damage would happen every 3 seconds. I think if the damage happened every 1 second, it would be balanced. Aside from how his passive is broken. Enemies affected by the mist cannot recover Constitution. Look, this guy's always going to be in the mist. He's always going to be in the mist. All the time. He's never going to stop casting this. And he can have 3 stacks of it. So, I don't know, maybe it is every 3 seconds and then that's balanced because he's just always going to have 3 seconds. Or he's always going to have 3 stacks. And then you become immune to control effects, which is crazy. Yeah, that's just really good. I just need to know how often that ticks. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe it says it right there. Alright, lethal denouncement. Enter a dominant state for 12 seconds. The caster instantly teleports behind enemy units whose current constitution is lower than 950% of the caster's strength and fucking executes them! Bruh. Bruh. When the execution is performed, the caster cannot be interrupted or targeted or targeted. After the execution, the caster permanently gains 12% damage bonus and 12% damage reduction. The caster permanently gains a 12% damage bonus and 12% damage reduction. In dominant state, casting the ultimate skill will renew the duration of dominance and increase the threshold to trigger the execution by 80% of the caster's strength. This threshold can be increased indefinitely. Oh no! Oh no, what have you done? What have you done? Okay, guys. You need 2 characters. You only need 2 characters. And then if you fight anybody who doesn't have those 2 characters, you win. Can you guess who the other character is? Can you guess? It's the male Dawnbreaker. Why is it the male Dawnbreaker? I'll tell you why. It's because he gets to come out and lower everybody's health like crazy instantly. Then you just put on a bunch of shit to get to your ultimate as fast as possible on this guy, including Devout, including Agile. You needed that anyway, including Focused. Then you're going to have everybody super weakened. He's going to ult as fast as humanly possible, become unstoppable, start just taking people out left and right, and you don't even need other characters. You don't even need to put them on your team. Why are you putting other characters on your team? Are you just trying to show off? Do you just like how they look? What's the point? You already won the game. What were they thinking, bro? This man is overpowered as fudge. Yeah. It doesn't matter how often this ticks. This doesn't need to occur. This you can almost take this ability off his bar. I don't understand. I don't understand. And the crazy thing is that you can just keep making it better. Let's remember that all strength increase buffs are converted into energy gain rate. Are you with me? Aye, aye, Captain. That's crazy. That's crazy. You don't need anybody else to do damage. You just really don't. You just come in with the one big ultimate. You come in with the one big ultimate, then he starts picking everybody else off. So what do you do instead?
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
You still have 3 character slots. What are you going to do with them? Well, we want to increase his strength. Why? So we can increase his energy gain rate. Why would we want to do that? Because he fucking executes people. Executes them. And he is untargetable while he's doing that. And we want to attempt to do that as many times as possible throughout the course of this. Wow. Now, having somebody that's grouping everybody up is great, but for my money, I'm just taking people who are increasing his strength. Now, I would assume that hulking is the strength one, right? I think hulking is the strength one. Would apply to that. So you could have a random Fulgur on your team, and that would be fine. Definitely Speedy Boy build. Definitely Speedy Boy. Now, This guy is super tanky already. So I'm not sure that you need to have energetic. And if you don't, then you want to have devout instead of energetic. So you're going brutal, agile, focused, and devout. You want to have the stone thrower buff on your team. It does not have to be on him. It should not be on him. You want to have hulking. Like this guy's the show, okay? Everybody else can suck a fat hog because they don't matter. Excuse my language. They can have buffs to buff him. He is the only one that makes any difference. So don't waste your time trying to wonder if your other character is going to be good. Don't do it. Yeah, I do. I like to be a little colorful with my language. I'm glad this is the last character we read, because every other character, if I would have read them after this, would have just, I don't know. It would have been like ordering Taco Bell and they gave me a diaper roll-up. Like, it's just not... Everything else is so much worse. This is the guy. That's him. Isn't that what they say on the internet these days? He thinks he's him. Well, he is him. He is him. Get one. I cannot believe I got this in a mythic. I got him in a mythic, y'all. Where he at? Where he at? Where's your boy? Somewhere. I need to make this the stacked up version. This is why the stacked up version is so good. This thing, this button that they added, I'm not gonna lie to you. I know I'm a little excited right now, but I'm just saying I'm pitching a tent. That is amazing. One of the things I hated was I had been stacking up materials. You can see I got almost 30 of a bunch of different dudes because I was stacking up materials. Why? So that I could level up dudes to make videos for you guys when I needed to. I got friggin' 81 of these Travains. And that's just the female, baby. I got 81 of them. I got 98 of the male. You know what I had to do before this button? I had to scroll through with 200 frickin' Travains, gumming up the works, plus 30 of every other dude. Absolute nightmare, unsearchable mess. And they saved it all. They saved it all with the stacking button. Now I can just scroll through and I can see each individual kind of character. You're like, I'm looking for one of my Fulgurs. Which one did I need again? Oh yeah, they're all right here, next to each other. That's awesome. That is awesome. Right. Where's the big show? Is he all the way down here? Is this what we're doing? I passed him. I done passed him, that's what. Maybe I didn't get him in Mythic and I'm looking for the red card. And that's my mistake. Is that my mistake? Maybe. I swear I got the Mythic one though. I felt it. Why can I not see the guy? Alright, I'm looking at all the colors now. Of the reading rainbow. Where you at, homie? I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. There he is. I only got a purple one. Oh wait, what? That was weird. Yeah, I do have a mythic one. I knew it. I knew it all along. We've got the boy. What does this do? When normal attacks or skills hit an enemy, there's a 50% chance to reduce their damage dealt. Of course there is. Of course there is. At least it's not stackable, and after the 5 seconds they become immune to it. But, yeah, that's pretty good. I'm not sure I'd go out of my way to put this on every character, but, like, when you're getting stuck with the trait anyway, it's not the worst. Not the worst. So, I'm going to have to completely redo his traits. And I'm going to. But that's the guy. If you have him, make him big. That's it. Should I start? I was going to be done. after I finish those guys. Should I start the new random account? Will he save my account? I don't have enough of him. I don't have enough of them. What is this? This is, I have not been here for a while, and they know that my account power is super low for this server. I'm on a relatively old server, and every single person is rocking people with 100 vigor and level 15 on their whole team and all this stuff, and my highest people are level 12. That's why when I went to go do the clan event, I wasn't able to do it, because I'm on a super old server that's very highly scaled, and I don't have that kind of power. And since they know that, they're like, dude, you should just start again or you're not going to have fun. That's what this is. They're saying you should start again or you're not going to have fun. I wish Snagga was here so I could see what server he was on. I don't know if I have an option. Bruh! These kids! I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but they're doing the thing. Oh yeah, my yearly card. Don't forget that. Now that's part of the problem. I got the yearly card, I got all that stuff, and I'm not going to have access to it. But also, if I become part of the creator program again, I'll be able to use that on this main account and do a free-to-play account that won't be tainted by a weekly stimulus of diamonds. Now I'm not rushing back to try to join up with them, but I'm not saying that it'll never happen again. Miranda says we can get you another yearly card. She's trying to draw me in. She's got the lasso and she's going, whoop-ha! We got you, boy! We got you, you're back and you're going nowhere. I don't know if I can... Do I have to wait for that thing to show up? I'm not sure. I think I have to wait for that thing to show up, and I didn't click it at the appropriate time. Are these your favorite champions? Is that what you do here? You just show the favorites? That's pretty cool. I don't hate it. I do not hate it. Also, I'm going to have to see if all of these packs are still the same or worth it or whatever. Kids. Ugh. Let's look at some value here real quick. Okay, these ones, the egg is worth 300, right? Egg is worth 300. Egg is worth 300. It's all the same. Okay, so that doesn't matter at all. What if I just was regularly trying to summon the boys? Oh, I can only summon them with the eggs. Dang. I can't do even a multi of it, but I kind of want to just summon a couple of them just for my own fun. Ooh, it's the pack! The pack is back! I kind of just want to do a couple. Should I just do a couple? I guess I could do one multi. Why not? Why not? We're doing it. I need to fill out the slots anyway. Ta-da! Watch this. I'm about to get the best of the bests. After this one is what I meant by that. After this one. Hey, that guy's cool. Here comes the purple. You didn't think it was coming, but it's coming. Well, I didn't expect to get a bunch of mushrooms. I don't know what that does. I don't know what that does. Alright, Sprite Haven. Pet food. I gotta feed these bad boys. Okay, so I have 2 of this guy, but I can't put them both in. I can only put the one. But I can level them up. Do I do that here? This guy's like, hey man, ascend me. I need to be ascended. Sprite shards. I've got a lot of shards, and then I get a random blessing. Let me get that. Gotta get. Max constitution increase. Oh, that's pretty decent. That's pretty decent. You can't be mad about it. Should I then train him up? I don't know if it's worth spending all the stuff. I just like this guy. But is there a difference, or are they the same? It just, they look different. Because if they just look the same, then I may as well level up the one that I already got good stuff in. He's slightly better on strength and stuff. He's slightly better on all of them just because he's level 2. I guess we just train him up for now. We've got nothing else to do. Ooh, do I want him to be that big? Bruh. I just don't want to spend it all. That's fine. He's level 16. Good job. I do also want to level up the other guy. Why do I want to level up the other guy? If it works like the other Bloodline stuff, then it's cheaper to level him up at first. So if I put all of them into one thing, it's not really as worth it. Does this get me one more level? Oh, that gets me a few more levels. We'll split the difference. I don't know if this is the efficient way to do it, guys. I'm just clicking the button and trying to get a bonus because my team is suffering. You think that's enough for me to win the battle? Probably not. Probably not. It's unfortunate, but it's true. What I need to know is how to get back to the screen where they recommend that I start over, because I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it just to play around and see what we got. And if they give me the option, I might go for a one that's been up for like exactly a month so that I can... Oh man, did I forget to do these? I thought I did these at the beginning of the stream. Oh, the day reset. Damn. I forgot to check back. I can't believe you've done this. Mate. Anakin, you're going somewhere I can't follow. Alright. We did the thing. We did the thing. Unfortunately, I can't do the, Oh, more food. Good. Oh, wow. Foxy boy. I want the Foxy boy. Unfortunately, we can't do the dramatic reading because my account sucks. So that's all I got. That's all I got for you today. Miranda, did you still want to try to do the summoning? I'm not sure I want to set it up, you know? I'm not sure I want to set it up right now. Maybe we'll do that another time. So, one thing I might have to do here, I think I might stream Bloodline usually once a week. Just for now. Just while we're getting back into the swing of things. I need to figure out what to make a video on. It might be the fact that, I don't know, the Assassin Boy is the most overpowered damn thing that's ever been in the game. By a lot. By a lot. And I don't know how he's in that state. And they're just leaving it there. I don't know how they're doing that. I need to, like, put some levels into him just so that I can find him easier as the mythic. The problem is that the purple one probably has energetic or athletic or something, and it's increasing his stuff. Can it be Thursdays for Bloodline stream? Yeah, possibly. I think that could work. What I need to do, this week I haven't done anything for my Baldur's Gate series. It's crazy. I've tried to, and I keep trying to get work done, but things keep coming up, and then I'm just not getting time to work on the video, or I'm just not feeling it. I'm like mentally exhausted or whatever. So, this is the plan. I'm gonna make probably a video talking about how this guy is overpowered. I might need somebody's help with that who has a good one so that I can get some footage of him being overpowered. Although I do have some resources I can reach out to for that. I am going to stream this again on Thursday next week. That's what we're going to decide. So Thursday next week, right here on YouTube, I'm going to be streaming Bloodline. And I'll probably be talking about the free-to-play account that I will have started by then when I figure out how to get the free bonus, because I want to start with the free bonus. I'm still going to keep going with the main account a little bit, but I'm not overly attached. I did put a lot of work into the account. I do have a lot of stuff that it would be nice to be able to keep and utilize and everything. But being so far behind is like, I don't really care. I don't really care, man. I would rather just have a lower level account that I can test stuff on and have a good time. That's all I'm about right now, is positivity and having a good time. And I hope that you are too. But for now, I want to thank you guys for watching. I have been Rage Panda 1, and I will see you in the next